Welcome to the three people in the chat. We will be starting shortly. We are listening to Kaizen Blue. This is called Deep, and it's slowed all the way down. Okay. So today we're going to talk about the wheat and the tares. Okay. Today is 4/11/2021. So make sure you guys hit the thumbs up when you come in, or hit the thumbs down if you don't like me. Either way, I appreciate the energy. Okay. So, how is everyone doing? First of all, I ain't seen y'all in a minute. Don't mind my little hairstyle here. I was trying to play with it. That's why I'm wearing my crown, okay, to keep my little hairstyle intact. Okay. So I haven't been here in a while. So, I've actually been like roaming around the internet, and I've, connected with some other people, and I've been sharing on some other platforms. And so I wanted to stop by because I finished my last book project 6 days ago. And I just kind of been chilling for the past 6 days because I have just needed the rest. You know what I'm saying? I needed the mental break, and I needed to take that little break. Okay. Shout out to the fourth person who just joined us. So I'm back. Okay. I will be back on Badass Tarot 2 as well. I'm not going to promise a time, because every time I do, I'm never able to keep that. Okay. But I intend to try to throw some cards tonight on my channel. If not, most definitely tomorrow. But I do have a couple of appointments in between, so I'm not going to promise today, but I am back, you guys. I was going to try to go live on 2 different platforms, but I was like, if I go do that, then I won't be able to listen to my music too, and music is very important. So I'm back on both my channels, and I'm also now again on another platform as well that I'm not really going to talk about here because I do want to keep them separated. Okay. So I want to talk about Matthew 13 verses 24 through 30. And it's about the wheat and the tares. Now, the wheat and the tares are just like the wheat and the tares would be just like the snakes and the butterflies that I've talked about. Okay. But I want to come from scripture with it so you guys really understand. What did I name this? The Harvest. Okay, the name of the video is The Harvest. And so I'm just going to read Matthew 13 verses 24 through 30. Okay, don't matter which version it is, it basically all has the same meaning. Okay, but I am reading from the King James version. Okay, and it's basically a parable. So when you have parables, they're like riddles, they're symbolic. You have to kind of decode it. Okay, so Matthew 13 24. Matthew 13 verses 24 through 30. Okay, and I'll even start at I'll start at 24 through 30. Okay, so the kingdom of heaven is likened unto a man which sowed good seed in his field. Okay, while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat and went his way. Okay, so basically it was like a gardener, or a person who owned the field. We would say God planted good seeds in the field, and then the enemy came and put his seeds like right next to God's seeds, just like the snakes and the butterflies. Okay, but when the blade was sprung up and brought forth fruit, then appeared the tares also. So when the wheat grew, so did the tares. Okay, and the tares look exactly like the wheat, except that they have no value. So the servants of the householder came and said unto him, Sir, didst thou sow good seed in thy field? From whence? The reason why they write in all this poetic stuff, and it's hard for people to understand, and this is why I feel like I need to break it down. So the servants of the householder came and said unto him, Sir, didst thou sow good seed in thy field? From whence then hath it tares? So basically they're asking, where did these tares come from? He said unto them, an enemy has done this. The servant said unto him, wilt thou then that we go and gather them up? So he was asking, should we go and pull these tares up? They're weeds amongst the good wheat that we can use. But the householder said to them, no, because lest while you gather up the tares, you will also root up the wheat with them. Okay, so the advice was to let them grow together until the harvest. Okay, and in the time of harvest, I will say to the reapers, gather ye together first the tares and bind them in bundles to burn them, but gather the wheat into thy barn. Okay, so the reason why I wanted to bring this up is because welcome, spiritual asset. Okay, so I'm talking about the wheat and the tares, and why it's important right now is because it's just like the snakes and the butterflies, and today is a very important day as far as 3D and 5D separating. Okay, I've talked about for several months now how the 5D reality was overlaid over 3D. Okay, and it has been for a while, and it was to give people an opportunity to repent, to change their mind, to change their ways, you know what I'm saying, to make different decisions, to release toxicity, to separate from the tares if you feel that you are the wheat, if you feel that you are a part of this body of God. Okay, and so this is the time that we're in right now. Like I said, for some reason today, 4/11, it's very significant because I feel like today is the beginning of the separation starting to happen. Okay, the tares. I haven't even checked the moon cycle, but I feel like a new moon is coming or something. It may be today. I ain't even looked it up, but I feel that something is happening today as far as these realities have been overlaid over one another again. I was telling you, if you're in 3D, 5D, the higher realms, the energies of love and light were accessible to you for a short time, but after today, the separation is going to start. Okay, and this is why I felt like it's important for me to come on today and to let you know what I'm saying. It's time to let go of toxicity. It is time to repent. It is time to change your ways, change your mind. It's time to ask for forgiveness from whoever you might need it from. It is time to forgive those that you need to forgive. Okay, forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. So that means that if you wish to be forgiven for things that you need to be forgiven for, then forgive those who need your forgiveness as well. This is how we clear the palate. This is how we move into a new earth without any baggage, without any of the heaviness of 3D and past pains or things worrying about the future will weigh us down. Now, the reason why a lot of people may feel stuck and feel like they're not moving forward is because your mind is either in the past, you dwelling on somebody that hurt me, something that I never got over, an apology that I never got, what my mama said to me, what my father wasn't there, whatever whatever was your past story. A lot of people still dwell on that. They still tell that story. They still use that story as a crutch or a reason why they are the way that they are. And at the end of the day, we all have a story. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I'm sorry, I put key limes in my water. Okay. So shout out to the person who told me to do that. Okay. But, so you have to be really aware of exactly spiritual offset, the shadow work, the inner child work. You know what I'm saying? And at this point, we don't have time to be projecting any of what we're going through out onto anyone else, as far as blaming other people for why we're the way we are. If we're grown by now, you know what I'm saying? At this point, we have to, accept responsibility for our own healing. Even if it was whatever you're going through, whatever might be on your heart, or you feel that's holding you back, that keeps you running this movie over in your head about something that may have happened in the past. All of those things is still at this point, even if someone else did cause it, it is our responsibility, and we have to accept it, that it's our responsibility. Yes. So key limes. So I kind of knew that anyway, but I don't know. I was reawakened. I was activated by someone that I came into contact with who made me really conscious, even more conscious of the things that I've been eating. And, because y'all know that I've been on a ketogenic diet for over a year and a half. But I still hadn't gone completely vegan. I was still eating meat on some days and still kind of sitting on the fence. And I realized that, I have to go ahead and completely, you know what I'm saying? Clean out completely. So I came into contact with this person who's very intelligent and who is a dietitian and a healer. And, after speaking with this person, it's like I started looking at my little keto bars and stuff that I was eating. And I was like, ugh, this stuff is like a science project. You know what I'm saying? Like my keto bar. So I had talked to this person for, I think, 2 days in a row. We talked for a really long time. And then I started to try to go back to my eating like the way that I was. And something had been activated in me where I couldn't eat it anymore. Right. So I bit the little keto bar, and it all of a sudden, it looked like, if for one, it tasted like chalk. It tasted like a science project. I could not swallow it. And then I looked at it and I was like, what the hell have I been eating? It was like I must have been walking around here with that part of me unconscious, as far as thinking that I was being healthy, even though I have lost weight. I've lost probably a good 35, 40 pounds. Okay. But was it healthy? Because when I talked to this person, they was like, I bet if I checked your blood, it's probably unbalanced or whatever. And I'm like, well, damn, I did started eating a lot healthier when I went to that. I feel, because I did lose a lot of weight, I do feel healthier, but there was further that I still needed to go. Okay. And this is all part of, just evolving. You're a pescatarian, so you eat fish. Spiritual, I said, see, that's my thing. Like, I wasn't really eating really unhealthy too bad. I just think that my little keto bars are not what I should have been eating. Okay. To get like the fat content that I needed to stay in ketosis. But ketosis, going into ketosis, is like eating a high fat content. So you try to eat healthy fats like avocados and, you know what I'm saying, from different oils and things like that, rather than saturated fats or carbohydrates and stuff, which will turn into actual body fat. So I thought I had it down to a science, you know what I'm saying, as far as eating and stuff, because of, my weight and how I was feeling better. But this person just kind of woke me up even a little bit more to let me know that, you know what I'm saying? No, you have to, raise your vibration even more and eat more electric foods. So yes. So now every day since I've talked to this person, I can't drink my water. I switched my water. I thought I was drinking real alkaline water. Come to find out that it was man-made alkaline water, like they were adding the minerals and stuff in there when I could have just been getting the crystal geyser water. Okay. And then I understood, like, that's why young Pharaoh always got the crystal geyser water. Okay. Because that's the real natural alkaline water. So I add a little key lime to it. So I feel a lot better since I've been doing that. Cause I'm like, and I haven't been eating meat. So I had some little vegan, I don't even know, like I'm feel very, very conscious about what I've been eating, like in these past few days, like awakening even more than I was. So yesterday what I ate was some, cause I didn't know what to eat, right? I'm looking in my refrigerator. I'm like, I'm disgusted by the things that are in my refrigerator now. I'm disgusted by the keto bars that I was eating. Like, what is this really made out of? And so all I ate yesterday was I had some chili roasted pistachios. Okay. And I had some vegan sausages, okay, that were made of apples and fruit and grains or something, and they weren't that bad. Okay, so that's what I ate. And today I haven't eaten yet, like, because I've been intermittently fasting too, and I didn't even really know what that meant when I tried to tell the person, like, I've been intermittently fasting, and I see it as fasting every other day, and that's probably what it is, but that's what I've been doing. So today I will probably fast just so I can just get myself back on balance. And I don't want to eat any more meat products. I really don't. Like, I feel like it's time for me to completely get on the other side of the fence and go completely vegan. So that's what I'm getting ready to do. But back to the harvest. Because the harvest is coming right now, you guys. Y'all know that I've been speaking on this for at least the past year about getting yourself into balance, doing your shadow work, doing your inner child work. It's not just something that you can talk about only, but you have to do it. It's work that must be done. You know what I'm saying? And if you haven't done the work, it's going to become very apparent at this time right now, because a lot of people who haven't done the work, they feel stuck. They don't feel as if they're moving forward. They don't feel as if they're being productive. They feel off balance. Okay. But those who have been doing the work, you feel kind of more balanced than you've been in a long time. Look, for me, this past week I've been feeling amazing. So calm and relaxed and peaceful within. And so when I see other people who are not, I understand what's happening. A lot of people's minds are still telling that story from 3D. They're still telling the story from their childhood about what damaged them. If you're able to articulate what made you a damaged person, as you may see yourself, or cause whatever pain that you may still be holding on to. If you can articulate that, then that is point zero where you start at to do your healing. There's no one else that's going to come from outside of you to help you with this. They may help you, but the work must be done by you. So no, regardless of whether, you were abused, abandoned, neglected, whatever may have happened to you in the past, we have to realize that it happened, it's over, accept it, and bring ourselves into the present moment where we are right now. If you're here right now and you've survived something, then understand that you have survived and that it's over. And now let's go into the process of releasing the pain from it. You guys know I always talk about keeping the meat and leaving the bones. Okay. So the things that do not serve you, the things that are not conducive to you getting to your next level in life, to go conducive to you growing, you know what I'm saying? And becoming a happier person, a more productive person, having more enthusiasm about going into the future, about life, and not, because I feel a lot of people's energy who are not feeling like they're not where they should be or not moving forward is because you're either in the past thinking about the past, still telling that story, still holding on to pain, still waiting for someone to come fix you, apologize, whatever. Those things may never come, or you're worried about the future, causing yourself anxiety, wondering, how am I going to make it? Is my job going to open back up? Is the world going to go back to being the way that it was? And neither of those things is conducive to you being able to put the energy that you need to put into your visions in the now. Okay, so you have to be right, put all your energy and intention right now in the moment into the visions that you have right now, so that it will unfold in future, experiences for you. But the work has to be done right now. Like, you're only going to get so far without doing the work, without confronting yourself in the mirror, without apologizing to your inner child in the mirror, without, you know what I'm saying, confronting and coming to terms with everything that you have gone through, that you felt that left a stain on your beautiful soul, on your heart, on your mind in any way. We have to really look those things in the face and find some sort of reconciliation, acceptance, and a way to move past those things. Okay. So, I hear a lot of people talking about shadow work and talking about inner child work. It's not something that's going to happen overnight. It's not something that you can, say, well, yeah, I did it because I really thought about what I went through. I talked about it to such and such. I vented. For me, it took over a year to get this, to get the work done, because you go deeper and deeper. There's deeper and deeper layers of healing that must be done. Okay. So for me, every time that I thought that I had reached a place of healing, and there was another layer. There was always another layer, like a deeper layer, things that I had forgotten about. The last video that I talked about, I was talking about being in the 8th grade, okay, and remembering a little girl in a play that was doing a play about the world where there was no sun. They had removed the sun from the world. Okay. Why am I remembering when I was 8 years old? You know what I'm saying? In the 3rd grade, because that's how far back that I had traveled in my inner child work. Okay. You start remembering things that you had forgotten about, things that you've tucked away, things that you have, just tucked into the limbic regions of your mind, in the darkness, in the shadows. If we think about the movie Us, I was just talking about it to someone on another platform, how that was very pertinent to talking about inner child work and shadow work. The movie Us, directed by Jordan Peele. If you guys saw it, it was about a little girl going into the recesses of her own shadows, doing inner child work. Now, there was some details that I remember about the movie, because when the movie first came out, I remember seeing everyone trying to decode the movie and trying to understand the meaning of it. And I didn't really understand it at the beginning. I knew it was something deep, but I was like, my little analysis of it was not what it really was. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why a lot of people were not able to decode it was because they had not done that work themselves. We had not gone in and done our own inner child work. We hadn't gone into the recesses of our own mind and healed our own inner child. We hadn't confronted the pains that we needed to confront. So it was hard for people who hadn't done that work to decipher that movie. I remember giving my little analysis, and it wasn't all, it wasn't what it should be either. And so now, I would say it's been at least a year and a half. Okay. I don't know when I saw the movie, but I know that I was with my narc when I went and saw it. Okay. Which is it's a funny thing too. But at the time I couldn't decipher it because there was still inner child work that I needed to do. But I really know that movie is about that. In the beginning, like I said, they were talking about how the little girl had been traumatized by her grandmother had passed that summer or whatever. And she was a little, vibrating low because she was kind of depressed. She was not happy. She was wearing a Michael Jackson Thriller t-shirt, which, kind of gave symbolism into the occult. We don't, a lot of things open doors to things that we don't really acknowledge or really, know anything about or know much about. So she was wearing a Thriller t-shirt, a Michael Jackson Thriller t-shirt, which does, symbolism and I'm saying different vibrations do open doors to different things. And the little girl was also unhappy and depressed when she wandered into the house of mirrors, okay, confronting the self in the mirror. And the self that she encountered in the mirror was one who had come from from underground. Okay, literally. Like if you remember, you know what I'm saying, they showed like these underground, and they even talked about it in the beginning of the movie. I think they didn't talk about it. I think when it first started, there was like some writing that was talking about how many underground tunnels and things that exist that people don't really know anything about it. You would have to actually go back and watch the movie, but I know that they mentioned it in the very beginning, and they show all of these rabbits that were like clones of one another. It was all these white rabbits, okay, that I knew that were like clones of the same rabbit. Somehow I just intuitively knew that. But then in the very center of all these white rabbits was a brown one, okay, one that was a little bit different than the rest of them, okay. May have been the one from whom all of the other white clones had been made, okay. So it makes you think deeply if you're really thinking about the symbolism and trying to decode things. And at the time I wasn't able to, but I know, I've come a little bit further down my path now. And so I kind of understand it a little bit more, as far as, you needing to go into the recesses of your mind, go into the limbic regions of your heart and do that healing, confront your inner child, actually admit to yourself the things that you've gone through, and to be able to release the pain from it and take the lessons. Okay. The pain would be the bones. The lessons would be the meat. So you want to keep the meat, you want to leave the bones. Okay. Because you can't take it all because it's weighing you down. Okay. It's what we call spiritual gravity. So I want to remind you guys, because I talked about the spirit of discernment, okay, on another platform last night. So I want to kind of bring it here as far as being discerning. And one thing that you can go to in the Bible, I don't remember exactly which scripture it was. I had it written down, but I got books everywhere. Oh, okay. It was at Matthew 16 verses 21 through 23 was basically talking about when Jesus had his disciples with him. Okay. One of them being Peter. I believe it was Peter. Yeah. One of them being Peter. And he was telling them about the prophecy and what was going to happen, as far as, he had to go into Jerusalem. He had to suffer, from the priests and the kings and stuff that were ruling there, that they were going to kill him. He already knew this going in. And it was the prophecy that he was going to be raised on the third day. It had to go down this way because it was the Father's will. As far as Jesus was concerned, okay, Yeshua. And Peter, who was one of the disciples, kind of rebuked that word and was like, no, that's not going to happen to you. Now, from our point of view, that might have looked like he was out of concern, because he loved Jesus, because he didn't want it to happen. And it may have been. But remember, dissecting the devil, how, the devil comes in and he will use you in the most manipulative and crafty ways. Okay, so Jesus knew that his purpose was to fulfill the word and fulfill the will of his Father, of his Creator. And he knew that even though Peter seems to be speaking out of concern and out of love for me, that this is not the right spirit. He had the spirit. He knew with his discernment that this was a spirit that was speaking against the will of the Father, which was the will of the Father, was that he sacrificed his life, his humanness, his ego self, in order that people's spirits could be liberated, so that they would understand that death is not even real, so that they would understand that you cannot die. You are life itself. Okay. So when you appear to go down, understand that you will also rise back up. Okay. And so that was the whole message of, being crucified, allowing yourself to go down in the physical and then rising back up in the spirit. Okay. Thank you so much, Spiritual Asset. I've been trying, girl. Like I said, ever since I met this person, I'm like, oh my God, I looked in my refrigerator. I'm like, what have I been eating? Oh my God, what is in these keto bars? Like, I have been sleep eating. Okay. I feel like, so now I'm like scared. I don't know what the hell to eat. Right. I'm looking in my refrigerator. Like, so I'm only eating things that I know is completely, absolutely organic, and kind of been fasting a lot more than anything else. Okay. So right now I'm like, I don't know what to eat. So I'm just drinking, my water with my lime in it. And I'm just gonna, I'm going to have to go to the grocery store later. But I have some things in my, a few things that I can eat, but I'm absolutely switching everything up. But I do feel healthier than I have in a long time. And it's not just consuming like what we're consuming physically, as far as food and, that, I mean, it's very important. It's very important that we consume foods that are electric, in nature, that are adding to our life force energy, that things that give us energy, and not false energy like a sugar rush, but real energy. You know what I'm saying? From foods that are living, whole foods that are natural, okay, organic, seeded plants, seeded fruit, you know what I'm saying? Water that is alkaline to alkalize your whole body, then you be free of all diseases, okay? But also not just the food, but what you're consuming energetically as well. What music are you listening to? What movies are you watching? Are you watching television shows about my 600-pound life? Are you watching television shows about, people getting haunted and tormented by bad spirits? Are you, all of these things contribute to your own personal energetic vibration and frequency, and they all help determine what you're drawing into yourself, okay? Being a feminine energy and divine feminine energy, understand that you, in your purest essence, you are. Yeah, Fiji water is alkaline. I just switched to the crystal geyser because I was actually drinking alkaline water from Kroger, the Kroger brand, and I actually looked at the label, and like I said, this person that I met showed me that the alkaline water, the Kroger brand, they were actually making it alkaline by adding certain things, so it was like man-made alkaline water. So I'm like, wow, which was very enlightening. So he told me to go get the crystal geyser water. So I've been drinking that for about 2 or 3 days, okay? And I just want to make sure that I'm doing the right thing for my body physically, because I know on every other level I am ready, honey. I'm ready. I'm ascending. I'm ready. I'm so tired of 3D because I've seen the brighter world. I can't forget it. I remember a brighter world. So you know what I'm saying? You cannot stay here. And it's very important that today, for some reason, today's date, I know it's very important, you guys, that I told you we've been overlapped, and that the 5D energies have been accessible to 3D. Well, right now, today, this separation is beginning to happen. Where I told you in my dream about the time of change, we were separating from the planet, okay? And like I said, I wasn't even thinking about the story about the wheat and the tares, okay? But the last, when they talk about the harvest, God said, let both grow together until the harvest. And in the time of the harvest, I will say to the reapers, gather ye together first the tares, and bind them in bundles to burn them, but gather the wheat into thy barn. Okay, so the tares was what I saw. Remember when we were rising from the planet, and I looked down on it in the dream about the time of change, it was burning. Okay, that was the tares. That was the snakes that were earthbound. Okay, but we were the butterflies that were rising. We were the wheat that was being gathered into the barn. Okay, so they look just alike, just like on the movie Us. Remember, they went onto the porch, and there was the people outside, and it was a whole family of imposters that looked exactly like them. Well, they look just like us. So this is why the spirit of discernment is very important. Okay, because you could look just like you. It could look like your mama. It could look like your sister, your brother, your husband, your wife, your child. But it's a tear. It's one of us. It's one of them. Okay, they look just like us. The only way that you're going to know the difference is to have the spirit of discernment. Okay, the spirit of discernment is spoken about after Jesus ascended. Okay, in John 14 verse 26. Okay, the Holy Spirit, who the Father shall send in my name, will teach you all things and bring everything that the Most High God has said to you to your remembrance. I talk a lot about remembrance and putting back together the pieces of the body of God. Okay. I absolutely know that this is happening with me, because I've been coming into contact with so many people who vibrate at my same frequency and even higher. Okay. Which is so refreshing. And you know what I'm saying? It's a beautiful thing because we activate one another. You know what I'm saying? When you speak to certain people, one of my gifts is, my throat chakra has been activated. So when I speak to certain people, I have the gift to be able to speak life into certain things. Okay. We know that The power of life and death is in our tongue, in the tongue of the children of the Most High. Okay. I can also speak death, but I choose not to. I choose to use my gifts for good and for the light to help bring the kingdom in. Okay. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven, because I'm so ready to see that new earth that I was shown in my heart. So if you're part of this body, the vision of the new earth, the seed for it is in your heart. It's planted in your heart. So whatever information that you have to share with us, whatever art, whatever gift, whatever talent that you have to share with us, that's the seed. That's you watering the seeds of others. When you bring forth your gifts and share it, if you have a story to share, if you, whatever you share, it's going to water another person's seed and allow them to grow. And this is how the new earth is going to come into being, us activating one another in the supernatural. Okay. The book that I just finished, which hasn't even been released yet, it's a supernatural devotional, and it basically gives you a daily activation where that's activating different aspects of your being, so that you can, you know what I'm saying, so that you are basically activated to be able to help and heal other people, you know what I'm saying, with the supernatural power that is gifted to you by your creator God. Okay. But it's not, the only way that you're going to be able to use it, I call it the God particles. I call it, you know what I'm saying? You can call it, I see it as little particles of light that you breathe in, the prana. Okay. And when you breathe those in, you have the ability to breathe life into your creations, into your manifestations, into whatever you speak that life into. If you understand the power of the word, understand that in the beginning, the word was with God and the word was God. And so when you the word is still with the God that's within you. And when you speak, and this is why you have to be very careful of what you speak over yourself and other people, because there's power there. Everything that we see in this physical reality was literally spoken into being. Okay. This is why it's important that we understand that the word was with God and the word was God. What does that mean? It means that when you speak something, when you speak life into something, a part of your being, the non-physical part of your being actually goes out to actually configure itself to become the thing that you are speaking into being. Okay. Everything around you that you see, especially every living thing, is being animated by the spirit of the creator God. Okay. The trees, the plants, even the rocks. Okay. They have a life force within them. Okay. But the tares would be the narcissists. They would be the borderline personalities. They would be the histrionic personalities. They would be the sociopath. They would be the psychopath. These are the people who, we don't want to say that they absolutely don't have the spirit of God in them, but what they do not have, absolutely do not have, is an awareness of the spirit of God, if it is within them. And so when you're not aware of something, that's just like me thinking I got $10 in my pocket and thinking that that's all that I have, even though I got $1 million in the bank. But I'm not aware of that. I'm not aware that my family left to me a divine inheritance of, having whatever I like. So I think I'm living off the $10 that I see with my physical eyes, that I see in my purse. And so I'm living way below my means because I don't understand the fullness of who I am and what I have inherited. Okay. And so when you don't have an awareness of being a part of God and God being a part of you, it might as well not be there. So these people are giving us the experience of what it is to be godless. Okay. Which to us is an experience of pure evil. Okay. That's what evil is. It's not being aware of being connected to other people, not being aware of being connected to the Most High Creator God. Okay. And so when you don't have that awareness, you might as well not have the connection. The reason why people like myself come on to remind us to remember, to awaken, is because so that you will remember the connection. So you will put back together the pieces of the body of God, where two or more are gathered in the name of the Creator. That's where the power lies. Okay. So the reason why it's important to remember And why he said when the Holy Spirit comes, he's going to bring to you the remembrance of everything, all the promises that God has made to you before you incarnated, the remembrance of everything that you're supposed to be, the rules, or I don't even like to say rules, but the practices that you should be following if you're trying to lighten your heart enough to be able to raise into the higher realms. You know what I'm saying? That when the Spirit comes upon you, and the Spirit falls on you, then you begin to remember who you are. You begin to remember your purpose. You begin to remember the promises that were made to you. You begin to remember how to move forward and remember what the meat is and what the bones are. You know what to keep and what to let go of. Okay. So the reason why this is important is because at this time right now, anybody could be a tear. Anybody could be operating in their lower self and could be bringing forth devil energy. Okay, as far as discouraging you from being on your path, as far as discouraging you from fulfilling your purpose. Okay, anybody who's dealt with a narcissist in any sort of way knows that that is basically their purpose and why they were sent into your life, to keep you from fulfilling your purpose. So most of the people who have been under attack by a demonic spirit or any sort of demonic infestation or attack is due to the fact that you have a purpose to fulfill in the body. Okay, that you have a calling on your life, that you are anointed to do something in order to help usher in the new earth. And so a lot of us who have this purpose, who have a calling on your life, who have been activated in the supernatural to actually activate others, you find yourself constantly under attack. Okay, constantly under attack. And so this is why we come to remember one another. I talked about the other night the analogy of being a light, a candle, and taking your light and lighting the other. Now I don't remember what I was just watching. Okay, it was somebody was talking about King, I think it was King Solomon. I don't want to say the wrong thing. I was reading something about it was some gods, Greek gods, or something about how fire got to humanity. Now I know that this was it was symbolic, but basically it was one of the gods who owned fire, and that one of the other ones was looking at humanity and how unprepared for this reality we seemed, basically having no fur, having no claws, having no weapons like built into us to be able to protect ourselves. And so this one of the gods was like, he asked the other god who owned the fire if he could share fire with us, because he knew that it would help us, survive. And the other god didn't give him the permission to do it. And so he basically stole the fire. He like took a candle and stole a piece of the flame, and he came and gave it to humanity. Okay, so this is a parable. And so it's not a parable. I don't even remember where I read it at. I think it's about some Greek gods. Zeus may have been one of them. I'm not sure. I just remembered the story and the symbolism in it, as far as how things were given to us and how we needed to evolve with it, and how we needed it to get to where we are right now, and to understand that I use the analogy of Peter trying to tell Jesus, no, the prophecy that was written on your life, that you're supposed to walk, your purpose that you have for coming here, that's not going to happen. Even though it seemed like he was doing this out of love, we have to understand that, recognize that spirit. Is it speaking against the will of the Father? Because if it is, then that's the spirit of the enemy. And that would be one of the tares that I speak of, that may look like a friend, may look like a family member, may look like someone that's on your side. It may look like a supporter, but they're actually speaking against you fulfilling your purpose. A lot of people have these people in their lives. You'll go tell them your dreams. You'll go tell them your desires and your plans. And they will say, in a very condescending manner, or in a very doubtful manner, well, good luck. Basically indicating that they don't really believe that you're going to be able to do it. And that's just spiritual gravity that you don't need. You don't need people weighing you down, because it's hard enough swimming through all of the debris that you have to get through without the discouragement. Okay. So if a person is not going to encourage you, if they're not supporting you, if they're putting any sort of spiritual gravity or weight onto you, as far as you trying to make your, make your, your mark on the world, you trying to fulfill your purpose. If there's anyone weighing you down with doubts and disbelief, I think it's time to release those people. It's time to put some distance between you and those people. Okay. And so I really wanted to just come by and remind you guys of that. I will be coming back later today though, but I do stream from another platform now. So I'm gonna go. I was gonna try to do them both at the same time, but like I said, if I did, I wouldn't have been able to listen to my music. But I will try at the same time to do both at the same time, also in my private group, because like I said, I have finished my the big book project that I was doing. I did take a week off to rest, and so now I'm back. So we will be continuing with the Emerald Tablet book study in the private group, and we'll be going forward with the lessons on this channel. And those of you who follow me on Instagram, those of you who follow me on other platforms, I will be full force back and full force on those as well. But I do not want to share the other platform with YouTube as of yet, because YouTube, they're just two different vibes. Okay. So, but I wanted to remind you of those few scriptures if you needed something to help you understand the wheat and the tares. Okay. The tares were allowed to grow right alongside of us. They look just like us. Okay. But the only way you're going to know the difference is to discern whether or not that person is moving in the spirit of God. Okay. Is it the spirit of God that is moving that person, that is animating that person, that's coming through that person? Or is it someone that's speaking against the will of the Father for your life? Is it someone telling you that you can't accomplish what the dream that has been planted in your heart? Is there someone telling you you don't see the visions that God is showing you? Is there someone telling you that you don't have the power that God has given you? You know what I'm saying? Is there someone in your life? I don't care who it is. If it's your mother, your husband, your wife, you know what I'm saying? Your neighbor, your friend. You need to release that person. You need to put distance between you and that person, because they represent spiritual gravity. They're keeping you from rising into the higher realms. They're keeping you from rising and becoming your higher self. Your higher self doesn't have people like that in their lives. Your higher self is surrounded by people who are supportive and loving. And the only way that you're going to assist yourself in becoming your higher self is to assist yourself in releasing the things that don't vibrate on the same frequency as your higher self. Okay. So that's the work that we have to do on our end, is to discern who is for us and who is not. If they're not for you, they are against you. There's only two energies here: the yin and the yang, the light and the dark, the good and the bad, the God and the devil energy, what's divine and what's not, the wheat and the tares. Okay. And right now it's very important, because right now they're being separated. Okay. So like I said, the scripture, I mean, the separation has been happening for a while, but right now it's harvest time. Okay. So what's the scripture again? It's Mark 13. And I'm just gonna, in Mark 13, you can really read verses 24 through 30. But basically at the end of the day, Mark 13 verse 30 basically says, let them grow together until the harvest. Okay. And in the time of the harvest, I will say to the reapers, gather ye first the tares and bind them in bundles to burn them, but gather the wheat into the barn. So there were some who are going to be chosen to stay and to be kept as valuable, who have a purpose to fulfill. And there are some who don't fulfill any purpose. And those people are being gathered in order to be part of the great fire. Okay. The great fire was part 2 of my dream about the time of change, where I saw that the whole entire earth, it looked like, was on fire, but this was after the wheat had already been gathered into the barn. Okay. After the wheat had already been gathered and been removed from the tares, then it was ignited. And I watched it burn. And like I said, I will never forget the little man on the motorcycle who was going around in Welcome, Space Ghost. So yeah, I haven't seen you guys. I feel like I've been gone forever, been streaming from other platforms and things like that, and making connections outside of YouTube. But it feels good to be back. You're gonna have to catch the replay because I don't know how long I've been here, about 48 minutes, okay, almost an hour. Basically just reminding you guys that it's harvest time to basically get yourself balanced and be preparing to separate from things that are not conducive to you becoming your higher self. Okay, we can't stay in separation from the higher self. Thank you so much, Space Ghost. I've been doing a lot of purging. I've been doing a lot of just spending time with myself, self-love. I finished my book a week ago, 6 days ago. I finished the book on the 5th, and then I just took time off to just take some time to myself and to rest my mind, because doing these books it's a lot. It's mentally draining. You know what I'm saying? So, that book had 90 chapters. I don't just narrate the book. It's not, because I know a lot of people probably imagine that I just have to read the book and that would be easy, but it's more than just reading. I produced the entire audio version of the book. So it's a lot that goes into it. It could take me 3 or 4 hours just to get one chapter done. Okay. And so, it's a lot of tedious work, but at the end of the day, it does pay off. It is worth all the time and energy that I put into it. So in no way am I complaining, but I am happy to be done with it. Okay. That was one of the longest ones that I've ever done. And I thought the book had 88 chapters. And when I got, to the 88th chapter, I still had 2 more to go. And I was like, you know what I'm saying? I really thought I was done at the 88th. So, but anyway, I'm happy to be done with it. The book hasn't been released yet. I will let you know when it's released. And the people who are in my private group, you will get free copies of this book. And this book is amazing. Like you're definitely going to want to be in on it. It's a supernatural devotional. It's teaching from the Bible, but it's teaching you the true supernatural power of God, as far as activating you in the supernatural to be able to actually have the power to heal, okay, and to bless others, and to activate other people. So I've been streaming from another platform, and I've been talking to, some people of like mind, of like frequency, and like light. And that's exactly what has been happening between me and these other people, is that we have been activating one another. And not saying I don't do it on here. We do it on here as well. But, YouTube, for me, y'all know I have stalkers. I got so many people. It's people that don't like me. It's the shadow banning. It's a lot that's going on YouTube. Okay. And when I went to these other platforms, it was refreshing. It was different. Another thing I want to bring up, I don't know how many of you guys watch Young Pharaoh, okay, but we're in the height in 3D realm. We're in the height of the spiritual warfare, okay. And remember when I told you guys about, at the end of my dream, when all the zombies were like around the house and everybody was possessed, and we were told in our hearts that we had to fight these people, and that we knew that we were going to win the fight. Like the victory was already promised to us. He told us, you don't lose, you win this fight, but you have to fight. You have to, there might be some casualties. You might get hurt. You may lose someone, you may lose a limb. You're going to get hurt, but you're not going to lose this fight. Okay. And that was when I woke up, and I didn't get shown the war, but I got shown the end of it when we were rising from the planet and things were burning. Okay. So again, the burning was the tares, the people who did not ever come into contact with their higher self, with the God. They never became aware of themselves being a part of God, or God being a part of them. And so, like I said, it's just like me having $10 in my purse and $1 million in the bank, and I'm not aware of the money in the bank. So I don't know that I'm rich. I don't know that I'm God. I think I'm this little self. I think I'm living off the $10 that I got in my purse. I think I'm living off my ego self that I see myself as, in this illusion of separation from God. Okay. But when we, the remembering, the great awakening, the age of Aquarius, the golden age, it's all about remembering who we are, remembering our purpose, remembering our anointing, and remembering the calling that we have on our lives, and actually stepping up to the mic to fulfill that. Okay, so John 14, verse 26 is about when that spirit comes upon you. Okay, when that quickening happens in your spirit, when the ruach comes down on you, and it was already prophesied, okay, that the Holy Spirit, who the Father will send in my name, will teach you all things, okay, and also bring everything that the Father has said to you to your remembrance. So the Great Awakening is about us remembering what we were already promised, the promised land that I saw in my dream as us going to that beautiful planet that had a glow around it that was untouched by human hands, and that the only people who would touch it were those who were already promised to inherit it. The new earth, okay? The glow around it was the fact that it was absolutely untouched, that it was absolutely clean, that it was unblemished, that it was, you know what I'm saying? It was pristine, it was opulent, it was beautiful. And so in order to be able to vibrate to that frequency and to match that frequency, in order to be able to go to experience it, you have to continue cleansing and purging and letting go of things that weigh you down spiritually, things that keep you in the darkness. So I was talking about how a lot of people feel stuck right now. Those who are very hardwired into 3D are feeling very heavy and feeling stuck because either your mind is in the past, worrying about what I went through in the past, worrying about who hurt me in the past, who didn't give me an apology, who didn't give me an explanation, the damage that I've been through. You know, you keep telling the same story, or you keep recreating the same story, stories of the same vibration. So I have limes, key lime that I put in my water. So I'm making sure the little pulp is not sticking to my mouth. So, but, oh, did I? Okay. So anyway, I was talking about, the wheat and the tares. It's very important at this time right now to discern the spirit that's coming through a person. Okay. I don't care if they've been saying something that's resonated with your heart the whole time you've been listening to them. And when they deviate off something, your heart don't sit right with your heart. Don't allow it in. I don't care if it's me, because at any time, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say anyone, but it is anyone, because remember in the movie, in the Matrix, how Morpheus told Neo, first of all, to watch out for the woman in the red dress who was purposely planted there as a distraction. Okay, those are the narcs in your life as well, and also how anyone could become an agent, which means that this spirit that I talk about, the narc demon, okay, it paints this grand illusion of being many different people, just like the agents in the Matrix. They seemed like there was a lot of them, remember, but they were all really like a clone of the same person. What was his name? Mr. somebody, Mr. Johnson or whatever, you know what I'm saying? It was one spirit. And that's what's very important for me, for you guys to understand. All my life, I have been a target of the devil energy coming through different people around me. Okay. But at the end of the day, it's very important. Welcome, Grandmaster Fee. It's good to see you, babe. It's good to see you all. I feel like I've been gone from YouTube forever, but I am back. Okay. And so we will continue moving forward. Now, I finished my book, like I said, 6 days ago, and I've just kind of been chilling and relaxing my mind for the past 6 days. But, the agents in the Matrix appeared to be many. They appeared to be more than one, but at the end of the day, it wasn't. It was one spirit jumping bodies, one spirit creating a grand illusion. And once we are able to minimize that spirit down to actually its true essence, which is basically, you know what I'm saying, a human being who feels empty inside because there is no awareness of God, of their creator who made them. And so they are an empty vessel. And so these people like this, these are the people who are easily infiltrated by that narc demon. or the devil energy. Okay, so they can come through as you, so it may have appeared all of your life that you may have appeared to be abused by your parents, by your teacher, by people, your neighbors, your friends, the people you've gotten into relationships with. For people who have a calling, who have an anointing, you have been attacked by this dark energy all of your life because they have been trying to keep you from fulfilling your purpose here. Now is the time right now that everyone is supposed to be fulfilling our purpose. And so a lot of people are under strong attack, under heavy attack, because the separation is happening. Okay, I've been talking a lot about how both realities have been overlaid over one another. Okay, until now, to give people an opportunity to repent, to change your mind, to forgive, to let go, to release, to purge, to cleanse. Okay, but now, you're running out of time, because now the real separation is starting to happen. It's starting to happen today. Okay, today the realities are beginning to separate. And so I really want to encourage you to do whatever you can to keep your vibration high. Do not allow any narcs to trigger you into a lower vibration. Not today, not any day going forward. Okay. If you need to put on some music to raise your vibration, do that. Pick up a hula hoop. Okay. Pick up a toy, something that's going to make you laugh. Watch a comedy. Turn off the scary movies. Turn off the psychological thrillers. Turn off the depressing shows about 600-pound people. Turn off the depressing shows about emergency room nightmares. Stop watching all of those things that are putting you into a lower vibration, because that keeps you under the influence of devil energy. Okay, don't worry, be happy. Get yourself some plants, help grow some flowers, help start planting a garden, watch something grow, help something grow, speak life into another person, go help with a charity, do something that is going to raise your vibration. It's very imperative right now at this moment that you do that, because the separation is happening as far as the wheat and the tares. And at the end of the day, they have been allowed to grow beside us, right beside us. They look just like us, like the movie Us. Okay, but at the end of the day, they were told, the reapers were told to, because if we were to pull them up before the maturity of the actual plant, before the maturity of us, the reason why they were allowed to grow right alongside of us and look just like us, but they're not us, they're not like us, they're not moving in the same spirit, was because if you had uprooted them, you would also have uprooted us. We came from the same root. It's just like GMO fruit, GMO, seedless, grapes versus seeded grapes. Okay, so we would be the grapes with the seed. The seed would be the Spirit of God. Okay, and then they are grapes that they made it look like a grape. It's just like people buying fake body parts. It looks real. And so, for some people, that's okay. You can take that. It doesn't have any, just like the tares, they don't have any nutritional value. They don't have any value, anything other than to look at. Okay. So things that are not real, they may appear to the eyes to be what it is, but your eyes are deceiving, which is why it's very important that you move down into your heart space and move in the spirit of discernment. Okay. The spirit of discernment comes with the Holy Spirit, who, again, the Father has sent in the name of Yeshua, or whatever ascended master that you know what I'm saying, that you choose to follow, as long as they're leading you into a deeper relationship with your own higher self, you're going in the right direction. You have to go within. You know what I'm saying? You have to direct your energy and your attention within, because you're supposed to seek first the kingdom, and then all of these things will be added unto you. Okay, your title, your social status, your, whatever it is that you think you're supposed to have in life, first go after the kingdom that's within you, and then watch those things be supernaturally added unto you. Okay, so first of all, go within, or you're going to go without the things that you're supposed to have. Okay, trying to seek them outside of yourself. Even reading the Bible without the discernment of the spirit within you, you're still going to be confused, because any words that have been written on paper have been corrupted and touched by the hands of men who don't even know the Spirit of God. And so in order to know what, what God said and what God didn't say, you have to be operating under the spirit of discernment. Okay. The spirit of discernment will basically let you know that a friend that's trying to be a fake friend, when they throw you that little offhanded comment, when they, speak against your dreams and your goals, they try to tell you that it's going to be harder than what it is. Recognize that that is not the Spirit of God that is speaking to you, and recognize that you need to separate yourself from it. Just like the wheat and the tares, they look like us, but they're not us. They were allowed to grow right alongside of us. So it may be your brother or your sister. Okay. But how do they act? Because we have to understand that that love is patient. Love is kind. Have these people been patient and kind with us? Because if they haven't, then it's not love. I don't care if they were supposed to love you. If they have not been patient and kind with you, they have not loved you. Okay. And so it's very important to be discerning about that at this time and know what to release and what to hold on to, because the things that you hold on to can mean, whether you're going to stay in 3D or whether you're going to rise. Okay. So be not attached to earthly things as far as your house, your car, your physical body. Okay. Your money, your bank account. The tree outside of your house. I would say be more attached to the tree, okay, than any of those other things that I just named, because those things are all perishable and they can perish in the great fire. They can be bundled up just like the tares and thrown into the fire and burned. But those things that are rooted in the Spirit, they don't die. They cannot be destroyed. They can only be transformed into another form. Okay. And so your true identity, which is the Spirit and not the body, not the physical self. When you identify with the Spirit as the self and not the body as the self, you see things from a whole nother perspective. You know what I'm saying? You look for that Spirit within other people. You understand that it's the Spirit in the other people that you love and not so much their body. It's not, their body parts. It's not how they look. Proof of this would be, I'm sure we've all met someone who we didn't think was that physically attractive when we first met them. And then the more you get to know them, the more that you are able to see in their spirit, the more beautiful they become. And it also happens vice versa. You might meet someone who looks physically attractive, but their spirit, the way that they act, the way that the things that come out of their mouths defile them. The way that they act is really ugly. It's really, they don't have any empathy or compassion for other people. And you start to see that, and it'll change the way they look to you. Someone who initially might have looked beautiful will start to look hardened and ugly because of their lack of compassion or empathy for other people. Okay. If you're moving in the spirit of discernment, someone who didn't initially appear to be physically attractive will become beautiful to you because you're looking at their soul. You're seeing with your third eye and not just looking with your physical eyes, which will always deceive you. Okay. And so a lot of people who have chosen with their physical eyes, they know by now that their eyes deceive them. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. We have all been deceived by our eyes. Okay. And so, like I said, whether they care to admit it or not, those who have chosen by sight and sight alone have learned by now that your eyes have deceived you. And the fulfillment that you need is going to come from the fullness of you sharing your own fullness that you've worked to achieve within yourself with another person who's full. How about that? How about not looking for someone else to complete you? How about being whole and complete within the self and then sharing that wholeness and completeness with another person? How about your part of the God puzzle? You taking time to perfect your shape and your color and your size so that when it's time for you to fit into your part of the God puzzle, you fit right on in. Okay. Your information, your downloads, your gifts, your talents, they fit right into the other persons that you just came into contact with, and you understand now how the God puzzle works. And when you put one another together, two or more being gathered in the name of the Ruach, of the Most High Creator God, then you can pull yourself back and see the bigger picture. Imagine a puzzle that you put together that is a picture of God. You can't see it from being the piece of it that you are. You have to fit yourself into the puzzle and then move back into the Godhead and look at it from the perspective of the higher self. So like the way that I was looking down on the earth when we were moving away from it, I could see the entire earth from my perspective because I had removed myself from it. Okay. And so that's what we have to do is even in our own personal walk. Okay. Our own personal walk at this time is a microcosm of what I saw when we were leaving the old earth and going to the new one. The people that were burning on the old earth represent the tares, who God told the reapers to put in a bundle and burn right before the harvest. And he told the reapers to take the ones who have value and put them in the barn, because those I'm going to use for my own use. They are going to be the mouths of God. They are going to be the hands of God to go out and heal and help people. Okay. They are able to move themselves out of their mind into their heart space. And I'm going to be able to use those people to bring and usher in the new earth. I'm going to tell them to say things like, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Why? Because they know that their words have power. They know that there is power. The power of life and death is in their tongue, and they're very careful about what they speak over themselves and over other people. They have been trained to do my work. Okay. Their minds are not, they have a sound mind, they are filled to the brim with love. They have been activated with supernatural power. That's the wheat. The tares, they just look like us. They might, their breasts ain't producing no milk. It's just the look of some breasts. Their breasts don't have milk ducts in them. They can't nurture a child or another life. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So you can there's a lot of man-made things out here. Man-made body parts, you know what I'm saying? Man-made everything. You know what I'm saying? Seedless grapes, seedless watermelon. So if they don't have a seed, what did they grow from? Okay, ask yourself these questions, because you don't want to be out here eating no GMO fruit, and it just as much as you don't want to be consorting with the tares. What value are they bringing into your life? They don't have any value. These are people who will literally try to suck out your value because they really want to be the wheat. They really want to have value. Okay, but they don't. They know they don't have value. So all they can do at this point is try to get you to give them your value, get you to believe that we're the same, get you to believe the lies that they're going to tell you about yourself, get you to believe that you don't have any value, that you can't rise, you know what I'm saying, above this fire that we're about to be thrown into. They don't want you to know that you can be looking down on that fire like I was if you keep your vibration high. You're being inundated right now on the news with bad news. Stop watching it. You don't need that to be informed and aware. If you have discernment, everything that you need will be added unto you. Go within, okay? Because you need to have that relationship intact. It's not about your religion, which is why I don't mention any particular religion. I've studied just about all of them. It's not about a religion. The religion is there for people who are not naturally hardwired to be the way that we naturally are. We are naturally compassionate. We are naturally loving. We naturally are patient and kind. Okay. And so no one has to tell us. We don't need a book to tell us how to be godly. The book is for those who need practice, for those who are not naturally hardwired to be this way. The book is for the tares. The book may help you to remember who you are, because being in this 3D matrix, we do begin to act and get lost in the sauce and take on some narcissistic traits, because a lot of people feel that it is necessary for survival. That, okay, they realize, it's a game. We're playing a game, right? People, so the goal of the game is I have to win. So this is why you'll see the narcissist always in a competitive. They're always being competitive. They're in a secret competition with you. You know, you go get a new hairstyle, they're going to go get one. You go get a new car, they're going to go get one. But they're going to try to soup it up and make it a little bit better than yours. Okay. So if you went and got the 2019 truck, they're going to go and get the 2020 truck. Okay. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, start paying attention, because if you're empathic, you're not even paying attention to this. You ain't even aware that there is a lot of people around you that are in a secret competition with you. This is your sister, your brother, your mama, your neighbor. Pay attention. These people are competing with you. You launch a product, here they come trying to launch something else. Okay. You know what I'm saying? You launch some rose water, the next day they on their channel boiling roses. So, you know what I'm saying? People are in a secret competition with you, but they really, you know, they don't have the spirit within them. So in order for them to try to compete with you, what do? They're going to try to act just like you. They don't know how to. If they had it within themselves, then they would be doing their own thing. People who don't have the ruach, who don't have the spirit within them, all they do is go around copying everybody else. Okay. So if they're not copying me today, look around you know what I'm saying? Look around, because they're copying someone. Okay. If they're trying to sound intelligent today, if they're trying to say something different, if they're saying new words, if they got new mannerisms, you know, my discernment is so on point that I can see on some narcissists, where, like, one in particular that I know, okay, had went to spend some time with another friend. Grandmaster Feed, we was cracking up, boiling roses, okay, trying to make the rose petals was all swollen, and that's not really going to produce the scent and the essence that you want to do. But you know what I'm saying? The reason why it's not working for you, honey, because it was not your calling, because you're trying to copy somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Wasting time and energy, boiling those poor rose petals, honey, was all, you know what I'm saying? It's not working for you. Okay. But this is what you'll see people doing, like in a secret competition with you, basically stealing your ways, your words, your mannerisms, but then also trying to put you down and low key throwing little sneak disses. Take it as a compliment, because you know what you're essentially looking at is dissatisfaction with self. And you know, obviously, if someone is speaking death into your situations, trying to make you, you know, stop your money, trying to cause people not to frequent your business and things like that, it's because they're dissatisfied with themselves and they feel threatened by you. Okay. I have several people trying to do spell work on me, trying to keep me from busting out of the frame that they think they suppose that I'm supposed to be in. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is that if they would focus on themselves, I just don't understand, like, the outer focus, and being that invested in what someone else is doing. But the reason why they are, because they see things as a race, right? They see it as a competition, and they're like, oh, this person is getting ahead of me. I got to do something because I can't stop them. Let me try to do something to slow them down, to hold them back. Instead of trying to run my own race and focusing on keeping my eyes on my prize, because I don't see my prize. I don't think I have a prize. Okay. So let me stop this person from getting their prize. So that becomes their whole purpose. And when you understand that that's their purpose, you are going to separate yourself from them, because what purpose are they serving in your life? Are they helping you get to your goals? Are they helping you to realize your dreams? Are they uplifting you in any way? Are their words edifying in any way? Are they patient? Are they kind? Can you call the energy that's coming from them to you? Can you honestly call that love? Can you call it support? Do they check on you? Do they, you know what I'm saying? Do they care, or do they only need you to be an ear and a shoulder when they need it? Do they walk out when it's time for you to express yourself, for you to be listened to, for you to be heard? Are they there? Are they available? Because it's time to cut off those types of one-sided relationships where the scales are not balanced. It's time right now. There's no more time. Okay. Time has come today. There's no more time to waste on the tares. It's harvest time. It is time to separate from those low vibrating entities in and around you in your life who are not adding any value to it. Okay. Because those people are being gathered right now to be part of the great fire. I said what I said. I told y'all about this fire years ago. Okay, now it's here. It's time. And I'm telling you, you're running out of time. This is the last day that you're going to have to make the decision to move forward on your path, or to keep thinking about what my mama said to me when I was 5 and 10 years old, to keep thinking about what the narc did to me, thinking about getting ghosted. I'm gonna keep telling that story as part of my story as to why I'm stuck, or I'm going to be worried about the future. Is my job going to ever open back up? Is the world going to go back to the way that it was? Is the government going to shut down? Am I going to get a stimulus check? All of those things are, whether you're in the past or in the future, you're not in the moment of now where all your power lies to create what your future is. The future is not set in stone. The future is contingent upon your own choices and decisions, your choice of energy, frequency, and vibration. And don't ever fool yourself into believing that you dealing with negative people and people doing things that are not conducive to your growth, that are not, a match to the frequency of your higher self. Don't ever fool yourself into believing that you're not being influenced by the people around you. You will never know the influence they were having on you until you separate from them and begin to see yourself rise. And when I say rise, what I mean is that you start to feel a lot lighter in your heart. Your heart is a lot lighter. You're not weighed down by pointless arguments, by gossiping about people, about trying to put people down or listening to someone putting people down. None of that is conducive to you growing or expanding. I had to literally tell people in my life, look, don't bring me no bad news. I don't want to hear no gossip. I don't want to hear nobody else's business. If you're not saying something positive, save it. You have to sometimes lay down the rules and lay down the law, because what you're not going to do is hold me back and hold me down with that spiritual gravity. And when you stop participating in that, those people begin to be more aware of themselves. When they try to come to you with gossip and come to you with low vibrating information and bad news and things of that nature, you tell them you don't want it. You reject it, you rebuke it. They begin to listen to themselves and realize how dark and negative that they are themselves when you don't participate in it with them. Okay, it's just like, and that's not why you're doing it. You're not doing it because you're feeling like you're better than them in any sort of way. It's just, I don't want to be part of that energy. It is a choice. It is a decision. Okay. And so I don't want to listen to no gossip. I don't want to listen to anything that's not going to be, I want to listen to something. I want to learn something that I can add to myself and say, whoa, now I know more than I did yesterday. Now I'm stronger because of this. Now I'm better because of this. Now I'm wiser because of this. Not now I'm vibrating lower because I was sitting here gossiping about such and such and their marriage or their money situation or whatever is going on. I've been sitting here out and spent 3 or 4 hours sitting here talking about people, trying to pull someone down because I'm down. Okay. There's a big difference in the energy. Start paying attention to the people that you listen to and the things that you watch and what you're consuming, not just food wise, but energetically. Because if you're around these people and they're sharing energy and you're exchanging energy, you are consuming what they are feeding you. If they're gossiping, girl, let me tell you this, girl, let me tell you that. And it's always somebody else's business. Okay. Like, how is that helping either one of you? You know what I'm saying? The only thing I want to hear is how to better myself, how I can activate my powers. You know what I'm saying? How I can become my highest self, how I can leave my mark on this world. You know what I'm saying? If you're not helping me to do any of that, it's a waste of time. And right now we don't have a lot of time. Okay. So focus on what's important to you. Prioritize, release, let go, purge things that are not conducive to you moving into your higher self. The way that you become your higher self is just to begin to act like her, act like him, do the things that he or she would do. Okay. Your higher self already exists. Okay. It's what's been guiding you the whole time to do this, do that, make that turn. Don't go there, because I'm trying to get you back to me. I'm trying to lead you back home to yourself. Okay. The road leads within the heart center. It's not a road that you're going to find in no book, in no building, in no other person. If the other person is not telling you to go within and seek first the kingdom, and then all of these things will be added unto you. Your title, your social status, all the things that you want to own, all of your toys. But first you have to understand who you are, match the frequency of all of those things, and watch them be added unto you. Okay, this is supernatural power. Now, if you don't believe in that, then continue focusing outward and using all your time and energy to get them little pieces of morsels. When you go within, you get God-sized blessings. Okay, blessings that are above the influence of the most low. Okay. And so I just wanted to come and remind you guys of that. Okay, that even Jesus, when he was getting ready to go fulfill the prophecy, and he knew that he was supposed to give his life for the rest of humanity, that because he was blameless and the only one who was innocent, who had enough purity within himself to be able to do it, that he was the one who had to do it. And for Peter, one of his disciples, to say, no, that's not going to happen to you, when I'm telling you that is what's going to happen, and that is the will of the Father, and you're going to tell me that no, that's not going to happen, we can't let that happen to you. Even though he appeared to be speaking out of love, Jesus recognized that to be the spirit of the enemy, and told him to get behind me, because you love the things of the flesh. You love my body. You love this physical, and you are against what the Father has said. The Father said, I'm sacrificing this body. Okay? So that the spirit can survive, so that you understand your true reality, your true nature, your true identity as a spirit. The spirit is your true identity. It does not die, so that you will not fear death. But if he had not done what he did, if any of the ascended masters had not made the sacrifices that they have made, we would not have the ability to even understand our true identity as a spirit, as a part of the body of God, as a piece of the God puzzle that will fit right in to. Jesus never said, I'm superior to you, I'm better than you. He said, the things that y'all see me doing, you can do, and even more. You also have supernatural power. You are also children of the Most High God. That's what he said. Okay. But those who chose to make a religion out of it was like, no, you better not ever try to make yourself equal to God. That's keeping you stuck in an illusion of separation from God, an illusion of separation from God. Because the truth is, there is no space. There's no space between me and you. Okay, drop everything physical right now and you tell me where the space exists between you and I, and between us and God. It doesn't. Okay, so that's why all of these things are here. That's why the grand illusion exists, so that you stay stuck in the illusion of separation from God. The truth is that God is within you, which is why it's essential that you go within if you want all of these things to be added unto you, in a supernatural way. Or again, you can work like a slave to try to obtain those things. And anything that you get from without, and anything that you get from the devil energy, he's going to take something bigger from you as the sacrifice for that little bit that he gave you. Okay. Anybody who has worked in the darkness knows that anything that you think you done got from the darkness, wait for it. Okay. The sacrifice of something even greater than what he gave you is going to be required, because the devil ain't got nothing to give you. He gives you illusions. It's like, let me give you a loan with 50% interest on it, which means I'm going to give you $1,000. Okay. And you owe me back $2,000. You know what I'm saying? You owe me back. You know what I'm saying? You're not giving me back what I gave you, but also with interest on it. And I'm gonna make the interest rate real high, so that you end up paying me back double and triple what I gave you. So at the end of the day, what did you gain? What profits a man to gain the world and lose his soul? Because see, your soul is the source of everything. Your soul is the seed of God from which you can speak anything into being. But you're gonna trade that with some little trinkets from the devil, okay, for a piece of the devil's pie, which was actually made of feces. It looked like a chocolate pie, but it was actually made of feces. So again, don't be deceived by what your eyes see, and move into your heart center so that you can discern what ingredients have been put into that pie. What spirit is animating that person? Who sent you? Who sent you? Who is the messenger? And where did the message come from? Where is this message going to take me if I receive it? What is this food? What is this energy, this frequency going to change me into if I consume it? Okay. So that's the awakening. That's the being aware. Okay. Because like I said, I recently come into contact with someone who is a dietitian and a healer. Okay. And this person really activated me to go to my next level as far as my frequency of the food that I was consuming, being on a ketogenic diet. Okay, it's a little cleaner than some, than I was, but I still needed to continue to eat even cleaner. You know what I'm saying? To drink even better water, to drink even higher vibratory water. So if we ever get to the point where we think like that we're done with our learning, we think that we already know everything that there is to know, we think that we've already perfected ourselves, then you don't need God. You already think that you are God. Okay. You don't need someone to come and tell you, hey, you've been drinking an alkaline water that was man-made. They put the minerals in there to make it appear to be alkaline. This is the naturally alkaline water over here. A narcissist, someone who think they know everything, they're going to rebuke that energy that could actually be helpful in healing, and they're going to resent that teaching. But a person who is a happy learner, who is humbled by the spirit, is going to be grateful and make those changes in order to continue evolving. You are never beyond evolving to another level. Every level you go to, there's still something higher to obtain. But some people enjoy being on their levels because they see levels below them and they feel like, these people are below me, so let me just teach them and I'm the most high. Like I heard Nature Boy say, this was earlier today, I just couldn't believe it. He was talking to a group of women and telling them that they don't have their own minds. They weren't made with their own minds, that they were only made to help men, and that women, and I couldn't believe that these women were sitting here accepting this and consuming it and listening to him. He's telling that they don't have their own mind. No woman has their own mind, that they were only made to be of assistance to him. Okay, when you know what I'm saying, come on now, I'm not even gonna get into it because like I said, you know what I'm saying, I've met very few men who could match my wits. But you're gonna tell me I'm supposed to be listening to you? I think not. You know what I'm saying? I think not. I'm not gonna say that it's not possible for a man to be evolved and to be balanced within himself with his divine feminine masculine, but there's very few. Okay, there are very few. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, I don't care if you think you got one or whatever. Okay, you might have one. You still cannot deny the fact that they are few and far between. You may be one. You still cannot deny the fact that they are few and far between. Okay, so how dare you, being a very low vibrating entity, okay, try to tell these women that they don't have their own mind. And if they accept that, they are absolutely being brainwashed, consuming the devil's energy, consuming the devil's pie, and would be willing to go over there and accept the verbal abuse, the physical abuse that he subjects all the women to. That is not a secret. He don't make it. He does not hide that. His belief is that your women and your children are your property. And if they don't accept, the lies and the half truths that he's shoving down their throat, then they deserve to be beaten. They deserve to be punished because he is their God. Okay, but one minute he's talking about how he's America's baby, the next minute he's your God. And then the reason why they're able to accept it is because they're not operating in the spirit of discernment. You really think that this is God that just gave you a black eye? You really think that this is God who has no impulse control and can't even control his own emotions? You really think that this is God that needs other people to abuse in order to regulate your own out of control emotions? You think this is God who needs to put all his internal garbage and project all his internal garbage onto other people to make himself feel like God? Do you feel good in this man's presence? Because I don't think y'all do. I don't think you do. If you did, you wouldn't have people escaping. Okay, escaping and then telling the story about how they were abused, weren't allowed to eat, weren't allowed to express themselves, and was in a whole narcissistic boot camp for the brainwashed. Okay, exactly. And that's what I'm talking about. Like, it's very disheartening to see that people are so lost that you're listening to someone outside of yourself. And that's the kind of things that happen when your relationship with your own spirit is not intact, you will be subjected to listen to someone who seems like they know what they're talking about. Okay, the devil can also spout out scriptures and can also steal some truth. That's the snakes on the same path with the butterflies, trying to follow the teacher to the treasure. At the end of the day, nature boy and all of the snakes of his like vibration will be falling to the ground right before they get to the treasure. They think they winning right now. They think winning. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Velvet got away because Velvet had the spirit of discernment. The other women over there are straight bobbleheads. They don't know what's going on. Waiting on Nature Boy to tell them their next move. Okay, out there looking like Coming to America. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get in the club. Like, either are you Babylonian or are you coming to America, honey? You know what I'm saying? You got your Coming to America outfit on, but y'all trying to get in the club to drink and be Babylon. I mean, which is it? You know what I'm saying? Come on now. So right now, you can't have fence sitters like that. You have to choose a side, because today, 4/11/2021, these realities are beginning to separate. You can feel it in your spirit. Okay, I'm serious. Like, how you up in the club with your Coming to America outfit on? That just doesn't, you know what I'm saying? It don't fit, honey. You got to choose a world. You got to choose a frequency. Nature Boy don't know whether he coming or going. Sitting up there with the variety pack of feathers on from Amazon, blue and yellow feathers tied onto the braid that's hanging on him. And I guess, that makes him indigenous. You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on now. We're falling for the okie doke, falling for the illusion, getting lost in the sauce, allowing someone that you gave birth to tell you that you don't have your own mind. So did the woman that gave birth to him, did she have her own mind, or she was just there to have babies? Was she not endowed or equipped with the ability to teach those babies, to nurture them? Is her body not a magical bottle that she can feed all of humanity from? Is she not magical? Have you yet to see me? See, Nature Boy sees Velvet now because Velvet separated herself from him. All the other women over there, he tells them, you are part of my mind, and the only thing that you can express is my mind. Okay, so all of y'all looking stupid bobbleheads. Waiting on Nature Boy to give you some direction on what to say, how to say it, and who you are. It is the year for exposing all of the narc demons. It is basically the light is here. The way that I've always told you guys, there was going to come a time when there would be no more darkness in which to hide. Hence Derek Jackson, hence Nature Boy, hence Kirk Franklin. Okay, and all of these other people who are going to get exposed, whose masks are falling off. The light is here. It is the golden age of awakening. People are no longer be able to be brainwashed. You still got a few bobbleheads around here following the likes of Nature Boy, but those are becoming fewer and further between. This is why Nature Boy got people escaping from him, and some over there who want to escape right now. They just don't know what route to take. Okay, so they're stuck right now, but T.I. See, I've heard some. I think you're talking about T.I. and Tiny. I don't know that much about them, but I heard about them, like having sex slaves and doing all of these things. Yeah, people's masks are slipping. I talked about in my last video how there's a female celebrity, and I'm not going to speak it on her. I'm just letting y'all know that I know ahead of time that what's about to be uncovered about this person, but I'm not going to speak it on them because I don't want to add energy to it. But when it comes out, I'm going to remind you that I told y'all that I knew that it was coming. Okay, because we're awake now. Nobody's going back to sleep. Okay, the light ain't going nowhere. The light is here, and those who have been hiding in the shadows are being exposed. Period. Okay, so you can refute what I'm saying, but the proof is here to see. Derek Jackson, Kirk Franklin, you know what I'm saying? Nature Boy. Just listen, and continue to watch, because the mask is slipping, but hasn't all the way slipped. There's still more to see, and there's more. Yes, she is black. She is black. And that's all I'm gonna say. Grandmaster Fee, she will be exposed very soon for some things that's going to change the way that everybody sees this person. So, if you start trying to guess who it is, I'm not going to confirm anything, because again, I don't want to add any energy to it. Okay. Because again, nothing is set in stone. All future All future happenings are but possibilities. They are seeds. Okay. And so it contingent upon choices and decisions, you know what I'm saying? A person can change their mind at any moment and change their direction. A person can change their mind and change their fate. Okay. And so that's why I don't speak things onto people, but I do see a reality, and this person is headed in a trajectory where they are going to be exposed. So it's my prayer that this person will change their direction, change their mind, repent, and that it never gets exposed. But as of right now, this person is on a trajectory of being exposed. This person has already done things that can be exposed. I'm sitting at my tarot table right now. I'm surrounded by cards, and there is so much going on. Okay. That I'm just sitting, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I finished my book a week ago, and I've just taken this week to just sit back and relax and chill, because I haven't been able to since November. I've been working on two book projects since November. So that's 5 or 6 months of my, of my personal time and space that I don't want to use the word sacrifice, because I absolutely wanted to be the voice of these books. So I'm very proud of the books, and I'm very happy that I did take the time and space to do them, you know what I'm saying, to produce the books. But they did take out 5 months of my life, 5 or 6 months of my life. Okay. And so now I just took 6 days to rest and relax. So this is the 6th day, and I'm back. And the reason why I felt compelled to come back today is because today is the beginning of the old and new earth separation. Okay. And the beginning of the wheat and the tares. And so again, it's harvest time. Okay. And so I want to remind you guys to be very discerning about people that are coming into your life, even the new people that you may be meeting. Always ask. Thank you so much, Grandmaster Fee. Yeah, I'm very proud of both of these accomplishments. And I really can't wait until the second book that I did gets released, because it's going to be very instrumental in ushering in the new earth and activating people in the supernatural, people who are going to then take that power and go out and begin to heal and bless others. Okay. So it's a very beautiful time. It's a very magical time. It's a very holy time. On the planet right now, as we are literally in the body. I've been telling you guys the whole time, like, this time we're not going to have to leave the body to ascend, but the ascension is happening while we are in our bodies. Our bodies are being transformed into something greater, which is why I came into contact with the dietitian that I came into contact with. This person is absolutely amazing to me. The knowledge that they just naturally have that flows off of the spirit, as far as what we're consuming in our physical bodies to help us match the frequency of our spiritual reality. It's all very important. It all takes discipline. It all takes okay, very good, spiritual. I said, I'm going to be traveling at the beginning of May down south. And I've really been thinking a lot about moving down south. You guys know I've been thinking about moving down south for the past couple of years. Okay. And so, because right now I'm in the Midwest, and, I was here for a reason. And I knew that I was here for a reason, and it was to be here in this space, in this time right now. But once we completely shift into the new earth, I'm also going to find myself in a different place, and a lot of us are. So congratulations, spiritual. I said, when I'm down south, I feel so at home. I feel so much more connected and much more grounded, like you said. And so, yeah, I'm going. My birthday is at the end of this month, but I'm going to be going to down south at the beginning of May to celebrate it, and some other things that I have going on. So I'm looking forward to it, because I need a vacation. I mean, I absolutely need this. Okay. And so I'm really looking forward to it. At the same time, I heard that spiritual. I said, it's time. Like I said, you may find me in the South as well, because that's where my mind is. Like, I'm not thinking about any other place but going south. Okay. My daughter lives in a very beautiful state as well, though, it's not south. You know what I'm saying? It's a very beautiful, one of the most beautiful states that you can, okay, spiritual. I said, I heard that you're stepping into your power, you're stepping into your purpose, as we all are. And it's a beautiful thing at the end of the day, because you know what I'm saying? It was time. It was meant that we remember who we are and that we step up to the mic to fulfill our purpose. And basically, I just came by to basically let you guys remind you that, to check the spirits of everyone, test the spirit of everyone that is around you and influencing you in any way, whether it's a teacher, a neighbor, a friend, someone you're in a relationship with, or a family member. You test that spirit and see if they are moving in the spirit of the Most High. And if they are not, at the very least, put time and space between you and that person. If you wish to ascend, you're going to have to release that person. And not meaning that you can't have any relationship at all, but deal with that person accordingly. Okay. How conducive are they to you moving into your higher self and becoming your higher self? And, like I said, I got family members that I love to death, but I can't spend too much time around you. I can't engage in conversations and gossip and all of that with you. And I had to be very blunt about letting you know that I really don't want to hear about gossip about other people. I don't want to talk about negativity. You know what I'm saying? I don't need your opinion if it's not going to be edifying. Okay. And so we have to, protect our inner child. We have to protect our newly reborn self from those things. And if you have to speak up to someone that you love, you have to be willing to do that. Okay. Because if not, it may be to the detriment of your own spiritual growth, your own expansion, your own ascension. It may be blocking your blessings that are right on the other side of that conversation about someone else's business. Okay. So I've been here an hour and 44 minutes. Okay. I do think that I'm going to come back later, y'all, because like I said, I'm back. I finished my book and I do have some free time now. So spiritual asset, that's exactly what I'm talking about. A lot of people who are rising into our higher selves, a lot of us have cut off the family. You know what I'm saying? The family members that we realized have not been patient or kind. You know what I'm saying? The family members whose words have not been edifying to us. We have cut them off. And that's a very powerful, empowering decision to make, when we make it, because it's not easy at all. It's a decision that we make out of self-love. And because it's so hard, because it is, it's done out of self-love, when you do make those decisions, that's when your blessings start flowing in. You know what I'm saying? I know that the 2 audiobooks that I just completed and the projects that I'm moving into are all blessings that came to me because of the faith that I had in myself. When I took a year out of my life to do Dissecting the Devil for no money, okay, I wasn't doing it with anything other than an incentive to help people to recognize the narc demon so that they would be able to rebuke that spirit, okay, so that you would be able to speak it out of your life, you know what I'm saying, to stop giving it your life force, so that you would be aware of the way that it's affecting you, to make you more self-aware, to empower you, and to understand that the devil's grand illusion is but that, an illusion. It's an illusion of being a lot of different people coming at you, a lot of different people that don't like you, a lot of different people coming against you, when it's really like the agents in the Matrix, and it's really just one spirit trying to appear as many different ones. The grand illusion that I'm trying to help you see through with Dissecting the Devil, with reminding you that it's just one spirit appearing in many different forms, okay? And that you have the power to rebuke it, to say, "Get behind me, Satan." Okay, like Jesus told Peter when he tried to tell him that, no, they're not going to kill you. What you're saying is going to happen is not going to happen. You have to recognize that spirit is speaking against the will of the Most High. Even though it seems to be out of love, even though it seems to be out of concern. That's like your family member saying, I don't want you to go travel and go take that job that's very promising to you because of my fears. Okay, because I'm scared something's going to happen to you, because I'm afraid that you're not going to succeed. That is the spirit of Satan. That is a demonic spirit speaking against the will of the Father for your life. And you have to be discerning enough to be able to see that, to not consume that, to rebuke it if you're trying to reach the goals and fulfill the purpose that God has for your life. If you have a calling on your life, you have these spirits around you. Okay. And so therefore weed them out at this point. It's time now. It's harvest time. Until now, they have been allowed to grow right alongside of us. They're our sister, they're our brother, they're our neighbor, our coworker. Now it's time to weed them out. Okay, exactly. That's where it has to be, spiritual asset, because dealing with a narcissist or anybody on the cluster B disorders, we're dealing with levels of demonic possession, the most low. You have to go to the most high to be able to fight it. You can't fight it with your own finite human power, with your witchcraft, with no lower spirits pulling out of the darkness. You can't, none of that is going to be effective against the most low, because that person has been activated. And you can say it's bad. We all have the power to do that, Grandmaster Fee. Again, the power of life and death is in the tongue. You know, I've spoken negative things into being when I was unaware of the power and unaware of the law that whatever you put out is coming back to you. Okay, so yeah, you may cause bad things to happen to other people, but don't ever think that it's not going to come back and hit you right in your face too. I'm living proof of it. Okay, which is why I choose to work for the light, because I want good blessings coming back to me. I don't want negativity. Anyone that's moving around in the shadows like a snake in the grass, they're paranoid, because they know on a deeper esoteric level that the energy that they've put out, whatever they've caused to happen in another person, they too will also experience the effects, and sometimes tenfold. Okay, because, you know, someone like me, who I know that people are doing work on me, I know for a fact, even not even the ones who we have been exposed, but the ones who think that they think that they're hiding. I know about them. I'm very just as aware of them as I am of the ones who have been exposed. Okay, and the ones who think that they're hiding, those are the ones, you know what I'm saying, who get shocked by their own karma, because they've convinced themselves that it's not going to happen, that karma doesn't exist. And so when it comes back tenfold, because I do return energy, honey, tenfold, whether it's good or bad. So be very careful about who you know, what you're sending to people, because not everyone, you know what I'm saying, is unaware. I'm very much aware. Like I said, I've always told you guys, anytime a person's attention is on me, my spirit's attention is on them, whether I say anything or not. I know. Okay, people whose names I've never spoken, I know, you know what I'm saying, you know, what their true intentions are towards me. Antennas way up, tuned in, tapped in, and turned on, honey. So they think that I'm unaware, but I'm very much aware. I'm very much aware of watching their own intentions for me hit their asses right back in the face. And they're wondering what's going on, trying to speak in code and shit, trying to speak their little curses. Okay, spiritual, I said, trying to speak their little curses, you know, online. I cannot stand a snake in the grass. Okay, I respect an overt narcissist more than I would ever respect a covert one. Okay, because they, like I said, they are the snakes that was trying to follow the teacher to the treasure, and they are the ones who fell to the ground when the treasure itself illuminated their true nature. Let them both grow together until the harvest. In the time of harvest, I will say to the reapers, gather ye together first the tares and bind them in bundles to burn them. Okay, but gather the wheat into thy barn. Welcome to the barn, my people. Okay. Welcome to the barn. Okay, you actually have value. Okay, and I just want to encourage you that if you have a gift, a talent, a book to share, a poem, a song, you dance, whatever it is that you do, if you're getting downloads, whatever it is, share it, because it is a piece of the puzzle that's going to click right into the rest of us. And then we will be able to back and look at the picture and see God. But we won't be able to see God as long as we think that, you know, we contain all of it within our little piece of the puzzle. We actually have to gather with the others, okay, in order to see the biggest picture. Yeah, the piece I got is glowing, it's shiny, it's beautiful, it's opulent, it's magical, but it's just a piece. Imagine how perfected that the whole is, how holy the whole is. That's what holy is. It's being whole. It's very possible death angels do exist, but understand that at the end of the day, anytime you're dealing with lower vibratory energies, the end of the day, their end goal is to destroy the host. Okay, so you can work with demonic forces all you want. At the end of the day, you are the one who will be consumed by it. Okay, because the beginning of wisdom is the fear of the law. The law. The law. Okay, the law. The beginning of wisdom is the fear of the law. So if you understand the law and you know it's coming back, honey, you're going to be very careful of what you speak life into and what you speak death into. Okay. I told you guys, Santa Muerte met me at my ancestor altar. You don't think that I can send death angels out to people? You don't think that I have? You don't think that they go automatically when they see somebody trying to send it towards me? Okay. The beginning of wisdom is the fear of the law. I said what I said. Yeah, the energy is wrong. It's off. Okay. And just continue to watch, because those people who are moving in darkness and slithering, they don't understand that the story is not over, honey. I know how it ends. I know how you meet your end and your demise. I've seen it. And I know where I'm going. And therefore, you know what I'm saying? When you've seen the end in the beginning, you know how to move. You know what I'm saying? You don't make mistakes like slithering and being sneaky and calling upon the spirit of death, not understanding that it's going to come upon you. Okay. So again, these people are not wise. The beginning of wisdom is the fear of the law, because the law is always in operation. The law is what God already said will be done. There's nothing you can do to change that. There's nothing you can do to change the fact that the energy that you put out is coming back to you. That figure 8 exists, honey. It's coming right back to you. You can't get out of the loop of your own energy. So, you know what I'm saying? Be very wise and very aware. You know, you speaking to someone who used to move in the darkness, who worked in the shadows, who can call upon me, you know, La Santísima Muerte, the holy death, and who can, you know what I'm saying? I have that power. I can do that, but I choose not to. Because what profits a man to gain the world and lose his soul? I chose to work for the light, which then called upon me attacks from the darkness. Okay. But they can't touch me. Okay. And so I would rather be here than be engaged in petty battles on the ground level. Okay. It's harvest time. It's time to gather those tares up and bundle them up and prepare for the great fire. Okay, which was part 2 of my dream about the time of change. Okay, so basically the war is, we wrapping up the spiritual warfare that has been going on for the past year and a half. It's beginning to wrap up. Okay, the reaper is here to gather the tares and to put them in bundles and to, I do know this, spiritual. I said a lot of people have been telling me this. Even someone that I just came into contact with was telling me how, you know, they know that it's my ancestors and my ancestors prepared this information that's coming through me. And I know this, you know what I'm saying? I shared with you guys, you know, in my private group, I share with you about my grandmother. I share with you about, yeah. One of my students was part Haitian. Okay. The very first one that I started, my first Badass Witches channel with, she just naturally had it because, you know what I'm saying, it was in her blood, just like me. And, you know, both some of my other students too, you know, they naturally had it, but unfortunately they wanted to move in the darkness. They loved it. You know what I'm saying? And they were actually, you know what I'm saying, narcissistic in nature. So though they had the power, they wanted to use it to serve, the most low. Okay. And I knew in my heart that was not the direction that I was going to go in. It was, you know, it was required that I do learn about the darkness and that I see about it and that I learn about the true nature of it, which is why I Oh, okay, yeah. She was very dark. You know what I'm saying? She was a natural, but she wanted to be dark. Like she didn't know how to raise her vibration. You know what I'm saying? And so I had to leave her in the darkness. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, she started the spirit of jealousy, pathological jealousy. She was jealous even though I was trying to help her. Yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about, the fire witch, spiritual I said. Um she was very dark. That's all she knew how to do, and she prided herself on being dark. She would even say, don't you know I'm white? I can go really dark. She prided herself on being Caucasian and being able to act without emotion and without empathy. And that just didn't sit right with me. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not the direction that I was going in. That is not the direction that I'm trying to lead my people in. Though at the time I was doing dark things as well. Again, I was learning about the darkness. And once I learned about it, I understood that I didn't want to do that. Yeah. She would do things like, some of the darkest things that she did, that she didn't want to be a student anymore. And she didn't want to listen to me. And she felt like she had enough information from me and that she wanted to do things on her own. And she was acting out of her own jealousy, her own insecurities towards other people. So she was insecure about this other woman. And she literally, this is horrible, y'all. And I felt like, that's why I had to cut ties with her. She was going way too dark for me. You are just literally acting out of jealousy for another woman. But you're going to say, I want to go and call up her aborted babies on her to haunt her because and basically I was like, for what? What is the reason? Because F her. That's your reason? Like, no. You know what I'm saying? That's when I knew I can't share any more information with her. I can't teach her anything else because she's being very irresponsible with the magic, with the power. And I'm not about to be responsible for what she does. She was jealous of me, jealous of the fact that my business was already flowing, that I already had clients. I was trying to help her set up hers, and so that she could get clients and so she could do work and make herself some money. But I saw that she didn't have the right intention. She had took one client and didn't even do the work, didn't even know what she was doing. She just took the money, and I didn't appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? There's enough frauds out here. So I saw how she was moving. It was her ego. She was jealous of me. And to the point where she didn't know that I could see everything that she was doing. She had actually tried to petition my spiritual mother against me. And when she did, her lungs collapsed in her sleep. And she knew why. She knew why that happened. And so that's when she just she just stopped moving into magic altogether, tried to give a little fake apology, which, you know what I'm saying? Her lungs collapsed in her sleep. Okay. I will, Grandmaster Fee. Yeah, that's why I had to let her go. She started being very jealous and just being very moving in her ego. You know what I'm saying? Thinking that she was bigger than me, thinking she was better than me. She thought she was Oshun. Okay, secretly trying to petition Oshun against me. And this is why she almost died. No, she didn't die. You know who saved her? I did. When she was in the hospital and she was still under attack when she went to the hospital. Okay. No, her own family wasn't even visiting her. That's how little love that she had in her life. Her family, the only person that tried to visit her out of her family was her grandmother. And she was calling me because she was in the hospital and scared of the people and scared that she was going to die. I'm the one who went up there with the camphor and with the herbs and you know what I'm saying? And prayed over her to save her. Even though she was the reason why she almost died was because she trying to petition Oshun against me. If I was not the Heyoka empath that I am, if I was not the healer that I am, she probably would have died. Her own family didn't have any love or support to give her. She was up in the hospital alone and scared. And you called the very person that you was trying to destroy to help you. You know what I'm saying? How ironic. But this is what a lot of things are going to look like. A lot of people are going to be going through that in these last days. I remember when I was younger, this episode of the Jeffersons, right? And George Jefferson, was a black man, for those of you who don't know. And this episode about the Jeffersons was about racism. And the man was a cold-hearted racist. And I was going to say Michael Jackson. That's because Michael is here, Archangel Michael. Okay, but no, but George Jefferson had saved this man's life. He was a white racist, and I remember being a child. I was probably 9 or 10 years old when I saw this episode of the Jeffersons, and I remembered, because the man, he had saved his life, and then after the man had came out of being unconscious or whatever, the doctors and the medics had Grandmaster Fee, you commented right at 444. That's also Archangel Michael's number. Okay. But spiritual offset. So yeah, so basically George Jefferson had saved this racist man's life. And when the man became conscious again and he looked at who had saved his life, he was like, you should have let me die. Okay. And I was just flabbergasted at how cold-hearted and ungrateful that a person can be. But that's a narcissist for you. Okay. Racism is a form of narcissism. And the only reason I haven't made a video about that particular subject is because y'all know how YouTube loves to ban and flag my videos. You know what I'm saying? I barely get any views now because of the content. And so that is a very controversial topic that I will save for a time when me and my channel are in a safer space. Okay. Scroons. What are scroons? I don't understand what scroons are. Has opened me up a lot. I feel so happy and loving. Elaborate, please, spiritual Aset. What is scroons? I'm gonna Google it. But spiritual Aset, I feel the exact same way that you feel. Like yesterday, I was so I felt so peaceful and relaxed. A scroon is a little bitch with a bad physique. That can't be it. Smart and innovative way to promote your brand and products in the street. Your early access innovate. I think that these are things that they are calling scroons that I'm reading. These shrooms. Okay. I thought that's what you were saying. Shrooms. Okay. Yeah, girl. Every time I've done shrooms about 3 or 4. Actually, probably 3, 4, 5 times. Okay, because I used to know someone who used to make chocolates. The chocolates were like they shipped them all around the world, right? The chocolates look like those little miniature Reese cups, but they had the shrooms in it. And every time that I thought that's what you were saying, girl. Every time that I would eat those, I would have supernatural, very deep spiritual experiences. You know what I'm saying? Some people don't have that. Some people have a bad trip because of where they are emotionally and mentally and spiritually. And so some people shouldn't be doing them. Okay. But when I would do them, the first thing that would happen when they would kick in is that I would laugh so hard. I would be having a laughing attack. Okay. Everything became funny because it was like the matrix would break and I could see the reality, in between it. And I mean, everything was so funny to me to the point where I would be laughing so hard that the people with me would get scared and be like, girl, I'm gonna call your mama. I'm finna take you to the hospital. Because I would be laughing so hard at everything. Okay. And then after the laughing would I would laugh for about good 45 minutes till people around me would be like, something is wrong. Right. And then I would calm down and get real serious. Like, oh my God, I can, start thinking about the cosmos and asking questions like, why do we drink cow's milk and don't drink our own milk? Because a woman's breast produces milk as long as it's being used. Like, why is we drinking milk from a cow when a baby cow weighs 1,000 pounds within a year from drinking it? So then I would be asking myself the deepest questions about the nature of reality. And wow, that is deep, spiritual. I said, I'm so excited about the things that I've been seeing in my third eye. Like, I literally started, because y'all know I'm a singer, and a lot of things come through my throat chakra. Not just a singer. When I talk to people, people get activated. They start remembering things in their own spirit. So I realized that I have been activated with the power to activate other people. Right? Your hubby almost took you to the mental word because you. Girl, that's me every time. Okay, that is me every time I take shrooms. When I eat them, you know what I'm saying? I have that same experience, girl. And then that just makes me laugh even more when they be like, "Girl, I'm about to call your mama. We taking you to the hospital because you laughing too hard." So that just makes me laugh even more. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because everything is funny to me. But anybody that knows me, they know that's just my nature. Like, I laugh. Things are funny to me. I carry the joy of God within me. So you know what I'm saying? A lot of people who are not just happy by nature and don't know how I am, a lot of people get offended when I laugh because they think I'm making fun of them or laughing at them, when at the end of the day, I'm laughing with you. I'm just a happy person by nature. You know what I'm saying? I used to get my ass beat for laughing. Okay, because my mama wasn't in a good mood on some days, and she'd be like, you know what I'm saying? If you laugh one more damn again, I'm going to beat your ass, right? And I wouldn't, that not her saying that would make me laugh. Okay. And so I'm laughing, and yeah, I got my ass beat for it. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? It's funny to me even still to this day, because you know, certain things I just find very amusing. I realize that I do have like a different kind of sense of humor from most people. And so a lot of the things that I find funny, somebody else might not find funny. But at the end of the day, it's just because I have the joy of God in me. It's just naturally a part of who I am. Okay. I'd never, you know, it's never to be making fun of nobody or laughing at anyone else. But I'm sorry if you can't, you know, vibe on my frequency to find the humor in what I'm finding humor in. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's shrooms always bring out that laughing part of me. Okay. I laugh for so long. Like I said, it's just ridiculous. And then I get serious and I start really, you know, thinking about reality and God and how things were made. And it's a beautiful thing. You do, because when I was outside, I would go outside and it would look like the stars and the moon and everything were like, it was this thing called a Viewmaster that back when I was little, and you would like flip through it and it was like 3D pictures, but it looked like you could just reach out and touch it. Like, that's how the moon and the stars and the planets start to look to me. And I can also like feel like our perspective in space. Like, we look up at, oh, I used to talk to the trees all the time. Like, when there was a time when I was really, you know, there are times when I'm more open than others. So there was a time when I was in my vortex, and I call it my vortex because of Abraham Hicks. And she talks a lot about this vortex of creation. And I felt like I was in my vortex for at least a whole year. This was when I was in love, you know what I'm saying, with a particular person who I recently came back into contact with. Okay. Someone who I never thought I would see again, because back then, when I had lost contact with this person, there was no Facebook, there was no social media. It wasn't as easy as it is now to find someone. So when this person had left my life, I didn't know how I was ever going to get back in touch with them. But, you know, fast forward, 15, 20 years, I don't even remember how long ago it was. 15, 20 years. And now I'm back in contact with this person. This was one of the only people who had hurt me unintentionally, but this was a person who was very emotionally mature, and he had told me, like, you know, he had the decency to tell me, like, you know, you activate some deep feelings within me, and you know, usually when I start to feel something on that deep level, I run. And he had told me that before he actually ran. It didn't keep him from running, but at least he told me, right? And the fact that I had that explanation, and then after I did come back into contact with him and we talked about everything, that he actually apologized to me for the pain that he caused. That was like the reconciliation from heaven. Like, wow. Okay. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't that I had been holding on to the pain from it or whatever, but it was a pain that I thought would never receive any balm or a band-aid on it or anything. I just had to let it scab over. So to have the actual person after that long be mature enough and aware enough to apologize, it meant everything to me. It shifted our whole connection into a whole nother level. Okay. And so that was a beautiful thing that has happened recently. You know what I'm saying? That I recently got back in contact with someone. And not that I'm trying to be in a relationship with the person or anything like that. It was just a beautiful thing to have the contact, because the person had been a very important, significant part of my life. It's very rare that you meet someone who you can vibe on the same frequency, that you know what I'm saying, you kind of think alike. I believe that they can change for the good, but with a narcissist, I don't have the time or the energy to wait for it. Okay. That's what got me in trouble to begin with, trying to deal with a narcissist, believing that they can change. They can change, but a narcissist usually 99% of the time is not going to choose to change. They actually enjoy wallowing in misery. You know what I'm saying? And that's the part that I had to recognizing your divinity, Grandmaster Fee. Recognizing your divinity. Squirrels are scary, but I see the God in them too. Spiritual, I said, because they usually, like when I see squirrels playing on a tree or something, when I walk by, they will usually stop for a moment to like be aware of me and me aware of them. And they are kind of scary, because I feel like if I tried to touch them or something, that they would scratch the hell out of me. I feel like they attack, but I feel like that they are, they're creatures that just are doing the will of God. And when you watch them, they're fascinating to watch. You know what I'm saying? When I watch them eat and, get the acorns and stuff, it's amazing when you watch any creatures of God, because they're naturally just carrying out who they naturally are without ego. We are the only ones who have ego that tell us to act in disaccord with, and have this cognitive dissonance with our mind and our heart. And so when you watch creatures like that who are just acting in their own nature, it's a beautiful thing to watch. And we can learn a lot from them as well, as far as, the things that they do to survive and the way that they relate to one another and to the creation. So I like watching animals. I like watching people, which is why I'm on YouTube, because it's an interesting study of human nature, whether the person is being narcissistic or being genuine or being helpful or whatever. I watch it all, right? I go to some channels to laugh. I go to some channels to learn something. I go to some channels to just, you know what I'm saying, get a different perspective. Yeah, animals recognize the divinity within you. You know what I'm saying? My brother was telling me about one day he was outside and he was praying out in the park, and his eyes were closed. And when he opened his eyes, he was surrounded by all these different butterflies. He said, to the point where it almost scared him. And I was like, yeah, because they recognize the spirit of God. They know their creator. All of creation knows their creation. You know what I'm saying? They bow, in honor to that spirit. And when you honor the spirit of God within you, you start to see other creatures and all of divinity bow down to you, even the trees. So at this time, when I was in my vortex, I was in love. I was happy. I was loving myself. I worked out every day. I was eating healthy. I was vibrating very high. And at that time, everything was speaking to me. Like we would be outside and like the stars would be winking at me. The moon would move over to me to the point where it was overwhelming. Like how is this the moon for the whole world, but it's coming over here to me, shining this great light on me to the point where I'm scared, but I'm trying to not confuse awe with fear. March for the yes, because we've all been going through my dream was called The Time of Change, because of the metamorphosis, because of the transformation that we have all gone through. I was looking at Sweet Mom for Life, who if you guys have been watching me for any amount of time, I've done videos on Sweet Mom for Life. She teaches about narcissism as well. And I've done videos on her when Tasha K was being a narc, you know what I'm saying? And basically doing a smear campaign on her. Sweet Mom for Life had done a video within this past week. I believe it was about the reason why Tasha K doesn't like Derek Jackson. Now, I had also made a video about that back when Tasha K tried to manipulate Derek Jackson into saying some things about Cardi B that, you know what I'm saying, that weren't completely true. And Derek Jackson didn't take the bait. I made a video. It's on this channel right here. And so Sweet Ma had made her own video, because even though Derek Jackson recently got busted by Tasha K doing videos and interviews with his mistresses, Sweet Ma still felt like she needed to prove that. And I felt the same way, like the same thing that Sweet Ma was proving, I knew that that was the reason why Tasha was exposing Derek too, because ever since he wouldn't back her up on trying to smear Cardi B, she was looking for a way to smear him. And she found it, unfortunately. And so Sweet Mom made a video proving that Tasha was only going after Derek because he wouldn't help her smear Cardi B. And she had used a clip of one of my videos, the video that I made about Derek Jackson not taking Tasha's bait. And she used a clip of my video, and I was just looking at myself in that video like, wow, I was like 35, 40 pounds heavier. I didn't feel, I probably felt attractive because I didn't realize that I was unattractive. Like, and I'm not even going to say that. I'm just going to say, like, I didn't feel like myself. Like I was like, wow, that was me. Because at the time when I made that video, I was still in a relationship with a narcissist who, when I met him, he was a little bit overweight. He had basically, I felt like he had body swapped energies with me, because after being with him for 3 years, I was the one who had a little bit of extra weight. You know what I'm saying? And I had started to take on some of his narcissistic traits because I am a Heyoka empath. So I mirror back the narcissist, behavior when they act crazy with us. We mirror their energy back to them. Okay, we don't accept it. And so thank you, Grandmaster Fee. Yeah, so Sweet Mom had taken a clip of mine and put it in her video, and it was really surprising because I was just watching her video because I like her stuff, and I didn't know that she had put me in the video. So when I saw myself, it was really shocking because I'm not even that person anymore. You know what I'm saying? And I was realizing how much I have changed and gone through a metamorphosis, and so that helped me to actually see myself and how far I've come down this road, and that I'm not even that person anymore, and how different I was when I had the narcissist energy mixed in with my own. Okay. And how much happier I am now, and how much more attractive I feel now that I'm not with a narcissist, because I was carrying his energy and whoever else's energy that he was mixing in with, that I unknowingly was consuming. Okay. All of that is gone now. And so, the releasing, the purging, the inner child work, the shadow work, it's all been done now. And so, not saying that I can't get better. Like I said, I recently came into contact with some really amazing people, vibrating very high, teaching some very beneficial information that's going to help us all get to the next level. Okay. And I do intend to share, but not right now. Right now, it's all mine right now. Because right now I'm going to use this to, completely make sure that I have everything that I need going forward. And then I'm absolutely going to share. Oh my God, are you serious? Spiritual, I said, that green is my favorite color. Green is the color of the heart chakra. I have always said love is green, because the energy that comes off your heart chakra is green. Okay. And then the energy that comes off your sacred heart is pink. So if you've ever worked with Archangel Raphael, he brings this pink and green energy. It's a mix of both, pink and green. And so to say that I have a green aura, that is, oh my God, like the best compliment that you could give me, because I do intend to, exude the energy of love, unconditional love. Okay. Because that is, it's compassion. Compassion is the energy that heals. Okay. And so stepping into my energy as a healer, it's very right that my aura should be green. Okay. So I'm excited about that. Okay. I didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? See, that's something that you shared with me, Spiritual. I said that is like a piece of the puzzle, right? I didn't know that, and I couldn't see that, but you telling me that is like, wow, that fits right into my puzzle, because I know why it would be green. I love green. It's my favorite color. It's the color of love. It's the energy of love. It's the color of the heart chakra. And so that's a beautiful thing. It's also my crystal crown is actually helping me to pull in some of this energy. Okay. And we were just speaking about the trees and things being, us being one with everything. So when I was in my vortex, which I kind of feel like I am right now, the trees would always be saying hi to me. Like they would be greeting me because they were aware of me and I was aware of them, like the God in them and aware of me. So I know exactly what you mean, spiritual. I said, when you say that the trees speak to you, birds know you, you know, the birds are messengers. So a lot of times they are our spirit guides. They are our ancestors coming as messengers. You know what I'm saying? Um, Wow, that is amazing. I can't see it. I cannot see it. You know what I'm saying? This is your gift, and I'm so glad that you're sharing it with me because that's my favorite color. Like, if I could choose an aura color, it would be green, okay, with a little bit of pink and a little bit of gold in it. Okay, so let me concentrate on making my aura that, okay? And that's what's important because your aura is basically telling you about your spiritual health. Okay. And I want to see all of our auras glowing. Okay, so stop drinking Cokes and stop smoking cigarettes and breathe in this good ass prana and start drinking alkaline water and add a little bit of lime to it. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Do things that are going to energize you so that you become a more energetic, magnetized being. If you're divine feminine, you in your rawest and rarest essence is the pure energy of pure magnetism. And the male, the divine masculine in his rarest essence is the energy of pure electricity. And the God puzzle is those two energies coming together to boom, create a whole new life. Okay, that's how we all came into being. That energy, that magnetism, drawing that electricity in to boom, spark a whole nother being. Okay, that's how. Infinite waters diving deep once again. Okay, I love me some Ralph. Okay. Yes. Okay, because Ralph is vibrating very high. He wakes up with a mouthful of grapes in his mouth every day, seeded grapes. He's always talking to the cat down the road. Okay, and he has the best advice ever. Okay, I love me some Ralph. Okay, peace, infinite waters diving deep once again. Okay, Ralph dives deep, honey. Okay, he's one of my spiritual husbands too. You know what I'm saying? One of them. Derek Jackson was one till I realized he was a whole narc out here. Okay, but I think I found a replacement. So yeah, I love Ralph though because he's always smiling. He vibrates very high, and he teaches us how to breathe in that good ass prana and to stay on a very high vibration. So if any of you don't know who Ralph is, check him out. Infinite Waters on YouTube. Okay, I'm sure he's Infinite Waters on Instagram too, but he gives the best advice ever. You know what I'm saying? And he's not like a Derek Jackson. I really do not believe that Ralph will let us down. Okay. He is a part of this body of God. Okay. I love me some Ralph. He's always, you know, he's like what Nature Boy wishes that he could be. Like Ralph really is out in nature. He really is vibrating high. He really is a vegan. He really does eat grapes for breakfast. He really does talk to the cat down the road. You know what I'm saying? He really is vibrating high. And so, you know what I'm saying? People are looking for you know, something like Ralph in Nature Boy. And Nature Boy to me is an imposter. So Ralph is the real deal. Most definitely spiritual, I said. So I want to be able to come back later, you guys. So I'm going to get off for a minute. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to figure out what I'm going to eat. Okay. And, you know, re-energize myself. And I want to go check into one of my other platforms. I absolutely was not going to take that shot. I knew because of myself, okay, and Ralph included, and I appreciate him and the work that he does. You know, discouraging people to not take that because my dream about the time of change, if you guys remember, one by one, people were going into the boss's office and coming back out possessed. The office, the doctor's office, and coming back out possessed. And I was wondering, like, what is he putting in them to make them come back out with that same demonic spirit that I hear in his voice? When they come out, they got it in them and they don't even know it. They think they're going in there to hear something about the company. They think they're going in there to have a meeting about the company. They think they're going in there to get something that's going to improve something. I'm telling you, I feel that And I want to be very careful with my words. But this anecdote that they're trying to give people is the very thing that was turning them into zombies in my dream. One by one, going into the office to get yours. Okay, because I started paying attention, and I'm like, why, if it's a company wide meeting, you know what I'm saying? Why are we not having a meeting with the whole company in one big meeting? Why is people going in there one by one and then coming back out with that devilish demonic spirit within them? I'm telling you, I don't trust it. This is how they started to turn into zombies. Ralph talks about it. He talks about the zombie apocalypse and all of this, okay? But I actually had the dream that showed me the people getting possessed and that they were going to be against us and we was going to have to fight them. So this is the warfare that we've been going, exactly, spiritual. I said exactly. So this is the warfare that I've been talking about. It's happening right now, but at this point, the separation is taking place. And the people who are supposed to be vibrating at the frequency of 5D are going to begin to separate from the people in 3D, because they've had long enough where they were overlaid over one another to decide where you wanted to be. And at this point, you know what I'm saying, the separation is going to happen. The tares are being bundled and they will be thrown into the fire, and the wheat is being harvested, period. God is gathering his people in the barn. So once again, to those 5 people who are in my room, just like in my dream about the time of change. In a dream, when you dream about a house, you're dreaming about your own soul. You're dreaming about your, your internal state of being. So the house was basically represented people who had gone within, those who were awakened, those who were ready. And it was only about 4 or 5 of us, 4 or 5 adults and 2 children. The 2 children who I had rebuked that spirit of the demon out of them. I had cast the demon out of them, which drew all the rest of the demons to us. And then we had to fight them. The target demographic would be the young people, because we can still cast the demons out of them. The older people are usually too far gone. And those were the ones who were the zombies and who we had to fight. Okay. This was all shown to me in symbolism in the dream that I had. So right now, that's the part that God didn't show me in the dream. He showed me the beginning and the end. The fight itself, I wasn't shown, but it's happening right now. It's spiritual. The battlefield is the mind. Okay. And just pay attention to the people around you, because a lot of people who are getting that anecdote, they're going to slowly begin to change into something else. So this is why it's very important. You're not holding me up, or not at all. I ain't really got nothing to do. I was just going to go. I just felt like, let me take a break so I can come back later. And I want to go check onto my other platform as well. But no, that's very important though. You know what I'm saying? That we do talk about it, because because of what's happening right now. Like I said, I told you guys that overlay was there, and that you had access to both realms, and that you should be reaching up and releasing everything that was holding you down as far as being spiritual gravity. So, you know what I'm saying? You got a little bit more time, but it's happening today and moving forward. So there's no more sitting on the fence. There's no more not making a choice, because to not make a choice is to choose. So just be very aware of that, okay, going forward, and why it's very important to be discerning right now, because anyone right now can be a vessel for the enemy if in fact they are not absolutely grounded and connected to the source. Welcome, Sultry Vibes and Orion's daughter 222. The reason why I'm looking at you, because there was an Orion's daughter that used to be in Jamila's chat all the time, that was very devoted to Jamila. Okay. And so I'm just like kind of side eyeing, but no, the number 222, I love. Okay. And your energy is you know what I'm saying, is not hitting me in the wrong way. So welcome, Orion's daughter. Welcome, Sultry Vibes. You guys are I've been on here for like 2.5 hours. Okay. So you're catching me at the end of this stream. So I do hope you guys go back and listen to the playback, but I was basically just pointing out a couple of scriptures that kind of was pertinent to right now, as far as the wheat and the tares, and how the people that, have value to God and have, thank you so much, Orion's daughter 222, the people who God is able to use to heal, to bless, to activate others in the supernatural so that they can go out and heal, bless, and be a light unto others. So it's like lighting a candle and taking your flame and lighting another candle and letting you light another one. Okay, so like all over the planet, these lights are coming on. These are the light workers who are activating one another. Okay. And so this is why I've moved not only to YouTube, but onto other platforms, because there are other lights that need to be activated in other places. Okay. So hopefully you will take what you guys are getting and you will go and activate other people as well, because whether you know it or not, if you're listening to me, you are receiving activations. Okay. And so, you know, if it's causing you to think about something like, oh yeah, that makes sense, or oh, that did this or that did that, like you, spiritual, I said how you see my aura, you know what I'm saying? That's because you're activated right now. Okay. Okay. Orion's daughter 222. I really don't mind you being here, even if it before it was not a good interaction. I still welcome you now because we're in a new energy. We're in a new timeline. And sultry vibes, you are absolutely correct. Okay, y'all, you listen to me, okay? Because I love Harriet Tubman, because I do feel like that I am a reincarnation of Harriet Tubman, because my whole goal is to free the people. Okay, but right now the battlefield is the mind. You know that Harriet led a war against the Confederate Army, okay, to get freedom for her people. We're at war right now. Okay, and as y'all know, I've been under very strong attack. Okay, some of the people you know about and some you don't. Okay. Okay. Yimmy Ya, Oshun, Harriet Tubman, most definitely, honey. I absolutely love Harriet Tubman, because I just like her, I would die for what I believe in. I would give my life for what I believe in. I'm not going to stop till I do what I came here to do, which is to free the minds of the captives, people who don't even know that they're captive. She said she would have freed 1,000 more, 10,000 more had they known that they were slaves. Okay. A lot of people are captive. Their minds are captive. Their minds are being attacked in this war and they don't even know it. How? Being inundated by the news saying, oh, 10,000 more people died in that state. This number. Don't believe the numbers. Don't believe the hype. It's there to incite fear, to lower your vibration enough that you can be attacked. If you raise your vibration, you will be above the influence of those lower vibrating entities, above the influence of spiritual gravity that is trying to keep you from using your wings. Okay. Sultry, watch Jamila fuss about that. She thinks she yummy. Amen. Only those who know they will never die are unafraid. Exactly. We are fearless. This is why we were made to walk through the valley of the shadow of death and to shine our lights, to understand that we are the light that's going to illuminate that valley, that shadow for everyone else. Okay. And so somebody has to be fearless and be willing to step up to the mic and give the messages that they are getting. If any of you have been getting the loud ringing in your ears, that's you receiving downloads. Okay. It's at least 2 people in here who are hearing it. I just want to confirm for you that, yes, you are receiving downloads. And if you might decode it later as music, a song, whatever it is that your gift is, it's going to come through your gift. Okay. A teaching, whatever. Don't hesitate to share that, because there's someone else who's going to be activated by you sharing that. Okay. Not everyone is a conduit to get these energies from the higher realms. Okay. So if you're hearing the loud ringing in your ears, it's you getting downloads from on high that you will later decode into, into the language that the people that you are trying to reach, that they speak. Yes, Orion's daughter, because you are receiving downloads. Yeah, that other channel. I mean, you can click on any video on the channel and it's the same tone. It's the same frequency. It's the same energy. It's the same vibe. Okay, just basically the vibe is one of dissension, division. If these people, they're narcissistic. So if they don't have a real person to argue with, they're going to make up something. They're going to create a situation that they can come on here and act like, I'm getting stalked. Why are they stalking me? Why are they doing this when it's real people getting stalked? Like, you can have all of my stalkers. Okay, it's not fun. It's not something that you want to be bragging about. The world is The world is telling who you are by copying everything Black people do. Okay, Gaia University, exactly. And so, just all we have to do is keep being who we are, keep being guided by the indwelling spirit that is within us. And usually when you see a lot of people who are thank you for stopping by, Gaia University. Like I said, you guys are catching me at the end of the stream. It's like 2.5 or more hours of information here. But it's all basically about, being discerning about what spirit is moving the people around you, raising your vibrations to be out of the influence of spiritual gravity so that you will be able to rise with us into the higher realms. How today, 4/11/2021, that the separation is beginning to take place as far as the wheat and the tares. It's harvest time. So God is gathering his people into the barn. Welcome to the barn. If you're in here, to the 5 people that are in the chat right now, and the rest of the world, just like in my dream, the 5 people in the house and the 2 children were all the only people who were not possessed. Okay, everyone else, the whole rest of the world was possessed. I want you to wrap your mind around this, because that's what it's going to feel like to you. It's going to feel like the grand illusion that the devil meant it to be. It's going to look like the whole rest of the world is possessed. It's going to come down to even your family members. Okay. At the end of the day, the way that you win the war is to not even engage on the ground level with them. The way that you win the war is to raise your vibration above the influence of lower vibratory entities, above the influence of spiritual gravity that's going to try to keep you earthbound when the reaper sets fire to the tares. What I saw at the end of my dream about the great fire was the tares. The tares, the little man that was going around in circles, going insane on hypnotic rhythm. The tares. Okay. The wheat is being gathered into the barn right now. So if you're being told to separate from people who are not conducive to your expansion, whose words are not edifying to you, people who are not patient and kind to you, you need to recognize that that is not love. And you need to separate yourself from those people. Okay. If they are being forcefully separated from you, accept it. Don't fight against it, but allow that to happen, which is how it happened to me. Okay. And I was dreaming about it before it happened. And had I not been given the dream, I probably would have used my magic to bring it back. But God said, I'm doing this. Let it go. Okay. I got something better for you. And so if it's happening in your life, let it go. Okay. There's something so much better for you up ahead. Okay. In the higher realms. Okay. So even another version of that person that you think you're leaving behind in the lower realm. If that's who you can't get your mind off of, look for the higher, look for their higher self in the higher realms. But if they're still operating in their lower selves, you must let them go, or you're going to go up in flames with them. Okay. Whether that flame is symbolic, whether it's real, whether whatever it is, just understand that the tares are going to be destroyed. And the only ones that will be harvested and used by the Most High are those who have value to the Most High. And you won't have value if you're vibrating, in the lower realms, if you're gossiping, if you're complaining, if you're, making up fake enemies and stalkers and just dwelling in the limbic regions of your mind and complaining about, being abused and neglected and unaccepted or whatever in your childhood. All of those things must be worked through. So we've talked about inner child work. We've talked about shadow work. We've talked about bringing yourself into the present moment where your power lies. So we can't be in the past complaining and anything. And we can't be worried about the future. We have to be in the present, speaking life into our visions. Okay. And this is what is going to direct our path. This is what is lighting the path that we're on. Okay. And every possibility exists. The future is not set in stone, but the future exists as seeds of possibility. So it's up to you with your own choices and decisions to decide which road that you're going to go down, which path you're going to light with your, with your light. And so I just remembered I have a counseling session. We're both late for it. Okay. But yeah, so let me I have a counseling session to go to, you guys, but I will be back later. Okay. So for my client who just tried to call me, I will be calling you in about 10 minutes, okay, for our session. And for everyone else, I will be back later. It may be late tonight, but I will be back talking a little bit more about us moving forward on the path. But just be aware that the separation is beginning to take place, and that you choose which side of the fence that you're going to be on, okay? If you came in late, make sure that you go back and watch the playback, and that you guys join me later, okay? Anything you need to know about me will be in the description box, okay? And I will talk to you guys soon. Thank everyone for stopping by, and I'm sending you all love, light, and abundant blessings. Peace.